G'day guys and welcome back to English Aussie. We are live for game week 32. How is everybody? Woo! Lots to discuss today. Obviously, wildcard teams that people want to talk through. I can maybe pull up on screen what my current wildcard team is looking like for this game week. And see like what you guys' teams are. I've obviously said, please send me your wildcard teams. Reply to my latest post on Twitter with your teams if you'd like me to go through and do a review of your teams. I will pull them up live for us to be able to go through today. Paul, how are you, mate? Good to see you. So yeah, we'll be live through all the way to the deadline. I've got a few of your guys' teams already on Twitter that I will be going with. I'll probably start with Paul since you're in the chat. One more thing for you boys is we're on the way to the Leipzig. We're on the way. Palace on the way to Leipzig. I don't get the Leeds slander. Where's the Leeds slander? I'm not seeing any Leeds slander. All right. Well, let's crack off with we'll crack on with a few teams. In fact, do you know what I'll do first? Is maybe let's just have a little chat about the different players, and then we'll run through your guys' teams. I think there's a few things that we can sort of chat about prior. Maybe I'll show you a few stats on the players that probably you guys will be looking at. We'll also have a look at the fixture schedules, and we'll get all that sorted for you guys, so you can have a look at all of that. Let me pull up for now what we've got. Needs to come down so we can see the Leeds Wolves stuff. Yeah, so obviously fixture schedule, we're off to Wembley. What? Hey Graham, hey Rob, what's going on guys? Good to see you lads. I think Paul, I had your team also you sent through. What I just want to do quickly before I get into that is just talk through a few players and what these guys are looking like. So what I've done, I guess, like what I normally do for midweek stuff is I'll put up like the data for defenders and midfielders and forwards, etc. So what I've done this time round, it's a bit weird that this is looking like that. Let me just put this on my side screen. Maybe that's the problem. Strange. It's not pulling up correctly on my screen, which is just a bit weird. So I'm just trying to fix it while I'm talking to you guys. Let's try this. This will do. So yeah, you can live with it being slightly not centered on this screen for some reason. I don't know why that is like that. I don't know if I can fix it. I don't want to fuck with it. So yeah, like we've talked through, I guess, defenders, midfielders, forwards, and I guess for those of you that are on a wild card, that's going to be like the main point of topic. Neil, the question is Gabriel better in one game week than some of the doublers? No, absolutely not. I would be avoiding Gabriel completely. I actually have no idea why people have him in a wildcard team. I just think it's a terrible pick. And like I have been the person all season that has been like, Gabriel #1 pick on the team sheet, but logically, to me, it just makes absolutely zero sense. If you listen to Arteta's press conference as well, he obviously talked about there are going to be changes for this game. Not that I think Gabriel's going to be out. I do think Timber potentially might be rotated this week. But the longer that Arsenal stay in Champions League, more likely there are to be rotations in that team. Obviously, 1-0 with Sporting. Not a resounding victory, meaning they're going to need all their players for that second leg. So that does again affect the minutes of those like major Arsenal players, the Rices, Sakas. Hey, Alex, thank you for joining back up as a supporter of the channel. Appreciate that greatly, mate. Thanks for sticking around. We are so back. That is right. We are back. As ever, guys, if you do want to be a member of the channel, very easy to sign up. Only, I think, about 50p a week or something like that. So I think what you get for it is definitely worth the sign up. Lots of good stuff that we've been chatting through over the last few weeks. All this personalised stuff that we're getting, as well as the fixture schedules, this data, the background to this data and stuff. If you don't want to do that, smash that subscribe button, like the video, or if you can't be bothered and you just want to listen to me, no worries. So yeah, looking at the defenders then, let's talk through some of the cheaper defenders. Like, these are probably the discussion points here. What's happened to Rodon, ligament injury or ankle injury? Rodon was ankle, the knock, and then Stack was a ligament. But yeah, basically both ankle injuries, both definitely going to be missing this week. From Farke's recent press conference, he basically said they might be out. They might be both out until the end of April, which means they'll miss game week 33 and only back for 35. So Rodon, Stack, make sure to avoid, do not have on your wildcard team. Obviously would have been top of my list before this little stats I put out probably just before the Leeds game or just after the Leeds game. Well, we didn't know the clarity of his injury just after the Leeds game. So yeah, I think best choice for Leeds, Pascal Struijk at centre back. Like, pretty decent for his DEFCON stats here. You can see him at 9.26 DEFCON per 90, which is quite good for a defender. He might be able to pick up those extra 2 points on one of the 2 game weeks, maybe end up with a 6-pointer, maybe Leeds keep a clean sheet against Wolves or Bournemouth. So yeah, definitely potential for that. Obviously, like, one of Leeds' penalty takers. So back in the Championship, he was on penalties for Leeds. And obviously with Calvert-Lewin's absolute shocking penalty behaviour when I have him in my team, it might be potential for Rodon to pick up one. It would be highly amusing if Calvert-Lewin went off injured, or not injured, but just got subbed off, and Leeds won a penalty just for Struijk to smash it in. Is Justin greater than Bogle purely for DC? I actually think Justin, not for the DC, but more for my personal opinion is I think his minutes are more likely than Bogle. I've seen there be games where Bogle's been left out for Justin at fullback. Bogle also sometimes plays on the right wing. Justin plays in that fullback area. Justin switches out to left back when Gudmundsson's like not quite fit as well. They can play both Bogle and Justin. He's a bit more versatile. Like, I've even heard rumours, and I'm sure Rob will comment on it. I have heard rumours that if Jakob Bijol's out, Justin could end up filling in at centre back. Some of the Leeds fans actually that I know outside of Rob came in saying that. So although he's a bit short, and I probably don't think he fits there quite well. But ultimately, yeah, I think Justin, just minutes perspective, slightly better than Bogle, and all round stats wise, like, I just think he's a bit of a nicer pick. So yeah, from that Leeds perspective, that's why, like, my top 2 picks would be Pascal Struijk and James Justin. Jakob Bijol, more just a concern for me if he plays this week in 32. If he plays in 32, I think he could be a nice pick for 33 onwards, because he's going to be in that team with Pascal Struijk every week. So you definitely could consider a Struijk Bijol double up, especially if you're not going to play those Leeds defenders this week. Now that I'm saying that, I'm actually considering that myself, because if Rodon is out until the end of May, I expect Bijol to be playing back-to-back in that double for Leeds. So yeah, definitely something to consider. Potentially Bijol and Struijk could be the way to go. And as we go on through this live stream, you might see me switching my team out from Justin to Bijol, because I actually think that's quite interesting. Outside of that, if you're looking at the Brighton defence, you've obviously got Fpl Gw32 and Van Heck. Van Heck, who's on my other slide because he's just nipped up above 4.5 million. Van Heck, 120 points, 3 goals, 2 assists, 8.86 DEFCON. 30, 0 goals, 2 assists, 5 DEFCON, so not really there for DEFCON. But obviously, fullback does have some attacking threat, does have some goal threat, assist threat. A bit of a differential. If you don't want to go for Van Heck, I think Kadioglu's a bit of a differential. His minutes are good. Like, he's going to be starting over De Kuiper at that left back role. So for me, I'd be fine taking him on as a differential pick. But I think Van Heck would be my number 1 pick based off minutes for sure, 100%, and also just the leader in that Brighton back four. Lewis Dunk being suspended as well means more responsibility for him, potentially even better for his DEFCON ability. He'll probably be marking on some of the taller strikers as well now with Dunk out. So that's probably the discussion with the Brighton guys. And then Chelsea, obviously Chalobah's still out at the moment, Colwill's out. Badiashile's coming back, could be an option. You've got Tosin in there, you've got Achiampong in there, but I think Fofana's going to be starting every week, every game for the next few games for Chelsea. I don't think they really have someone that they want to be rotating him with. It hasn't shown like that for Chelsea. Like, they have rotated their centre backs, but I think for me, I would put my neck out there and say I reckon Fofana's going to play. Both in the double game week. Yeah, that would be my guess. Sorry, where are we here? Gross or Gomez on wildcard? Absolutely Gomez. Like, what is this Gross chat? Like, honestly, some of the stuff I see on YouTube, it's like, why are these discussions even being had? Pascal Gross is just like a guaranteed 4-pointer in that double game, like in a double game week. I would rather have a single game week player than Pascal Gross. Honestly, pick like flipping Mo Salah's got more chance of scoring more points than Gross in the game week. If I'm wrong, you can blame me, but terrible pick. I'd definitely pick Diego Gomez. I think he looks really nice. He's been really good for Brighton. Plays a lot higher than Gross, like very much involved in their play. I think he's a real goal threat, and I wouldn't be concerned by the... I mean, yeah, you can be a little bit concerned by the 9 yellow cards, but as long as he avoids a yellow against Burnley, then he's good to go. Which one would you prefer on wildcard, DCL or Welbeck? We'll go on to talk about that. I think that's a really difficult call, and it's probably not just a wildcard week that I'd be considering when I make that call. Finally energized and ready for the final push. Yes, I am, mate. I am ready to go. This is going to be a big decision, and I think a lot of the people that follow my channel consistently are probably on quite a similar strategy to what I'm suggesting. So we're either all going to succeed or we're all going to fail together on this wildcard. I think all our wildcards are pretty similar. Rob, I do really want to go Matoma. If you do it, I'll do it. I do like Matoma. I think Matoma's a great player. I just think the way he's used by Hertzler is a bit strange. His minutes are a bit of an issue. Like, even the way that they, like the way how much he's involved in the build-up play and in the end of the play, and when he comes off early, when he's so important at the back end of the games for Brighton, using his pace to do people on the counter. Just don't understand that for Mitoma. I just don't think they use him as well as they should. Like, he's brilliant for Japan. You saw him against England. Like, he was fantastic. I'm getting Bowen and playing a transfer for Pedro. Yeah, I think that's fine, but you just got to bear in mind that you might want to be making transfers in game week 36 in that double, or potentially in game week 37 if there's a blank there. Adam Bailey. So I think using one transfer in game week 33 is fine to deal with issues. Or to plan a transfer out. For example, like if you're looking at my team, I'm gonna have Bruno in my wild card, and then I'm gonna be moving him out next week to, I don't know, Tavernier, Scott, someone from Bournemouth, basically. I think I most likely will, unless Bruno scores a hat trick or something and Man United look ridiculous. That's probably where I'll go. Anyway, on to the mid-price defenders. This is where we start to talk about some of the Bournemouth guys. O'Reilly. I think O'Reilly's just an absolute lock in any team. Budweiser deal on the way. Yeah, where is my Budweiser hat today? Thank you, Quex. Appreciate your support, mate. Thanks for supporting my channel. Thank you, all you guys, for supporting. Actually, at Mark Raving Mad, you were one of the guys who I think got a gifted membership, which actually we should do once Cap comes back. Adam, you aren't going with Gabriel? No, mate. I just think Gabriel's an awful pick on a wild card. I really do. I think Arsenal's fixtures are not good. I think if you're going to have Gabriel, you bring him back in 35 or 36. I just think he's just not the one. Not the one for me at all. We're on our way to the Leipzig runaway. That's it, Simon. Correct. Eagles, big result last night. 3-0 v Fiorentina. I was there at Selhurst Park and we absolutely murdered them in the first half. Fiorentina fans were offering out some post-game afters, some of the Palace fans. From Game Week 35, you have to bring Arsenal assets in. I actually disagree. I think you do not have to bring Arsenal assets in. I would say I would like to bring Gabriel in, but also to an extent that every single team in the world is going to have Gabriel in there from Game Week 35, 36 onwards. It's quite nice to go away from that. You never know at that stage whether Arsenal wrap up the league by 36 and then 37, 38 start to rotate. They might still be in the Champions League. There's a lot of ifs about that. Like, yes, I think maybe Gabriel was a good pick 35, 36, but I can definitely go without him 32, 33, 34. I just do not think he's a good pick across there. I might have him in my free hit team in 34 maybe. Great result, Si. Where were you sitting, Si? Were you in Holmesdale End? I couldn't get tickets. Well, my brother gets tickets normally, but he couldn't get tickets in Holmesdale End for me, so we were other corner side. We thought Mateta was going to score the pen and then come and kick our corner flag, but he went the wrong way. What are my thoughts on Gusto? Just not enough minutes, mate. Like we can talk about. Actually, Gusto is probably a good discussion point for one of the things I wanted to show. Not sure if he even makes it on here. Yeah, so I do my own sort of have all the members know that I've got my own Excel spreadsheet that automates all this stuff. But yeah, I do a last four, next four fixtures analysis. So I don't think Gusto's actually made it into this one, but I can just quickly pull him up. If we just have a look quickly at the defenders. What's his price? Oh, Gusto. Just go Chelsea. 228. Let me just chuck him in there at the bottom. Started 3 of the last 4, played 179 minutes. That's my sort of thing with Gusto in the last 4 game weeks. He just 60 minutes a game. Doesn't play all of the weeks. For me, I just wouldn't be fancying him. Just wouldn't be fancying him. So that's sort of my reasoning on Gusto ads. But yeah, if you want to take a punt, feel free. So yeah, on this side of things, I think Senesi must pick Bournemouth. Bournemouth, you don't really want to be going with a lot of their midfielders just because bit of rotation. I think Senesi just picks up DEFCON all the time. I think Bournemouth have been quite good defensively recently as well. Quite a few clean sheets over the last 4. They've been one of the best defensive teams. And some of the most points over that last 4 analysis that I was looking at. A lot of the top guys were the Bournemouth defenders. If you look at that from the mid-price defenders side, the Bournemouth defenders outscored O'Reilly. True fair Senesi O'Reilly with the top 3 scoring defenders from those mid-price over the last 4 game weeks. So they have been on a good run. So yeah, I think here Senesi is a no-brainer for me. I think Hill's a no-brainer for me, and then +1 Bournemouth midfielder, and that's who I'm going to choose in game week 33. I'm going to move out Fernandes for one of the Bournemouth midfielders most likely in 33. So yeah, then I think O'Reilly's a lock in all teams. Like he's just playing left wing for City, really, isn't he? A lot of the time. So I mean, you can go Nunes if you want as a differential, but I just think O'Reilly for the goal threat is just the one to go for. I know everyone's going to have him. Probably won't change your rank. So if you are looking to go super differential, you can go Nunes. Not too worried about minutes for either of them. Reece James is out this week, as usual. Chalobah's still out this week. That's why neither of them are on here. Gusto, as I said, for minutes is a bit of an issue. Cucurella similarly, minutes-wise as well, for me, is a bit of an issue. Gay for Man City, he's just like the points that he scores or had scored in the past was mostly like in his Palace days. Here, like he's been made a massive difference to the City defence, to be honest. And like from a tactical standpoint, he's really allowed the fullbacks to go forwards a little bit more because he's been so solid. From an FPL perspective, he's just not the pick. Let me just read a couple of comments. Someone say Wembley. Someone say Leipzig, but Wembley. Leeds are going to Wembley. That's right. I've got 2 free transfers. Thoughts on having either Mbeumo, Gabriel, or Ekitike this week and subbing out next week? Yeah, I think one of them's fine. I mean, do you already have Bruno Fernandes, Alex? I think one of them. So I've got 2 free transfers, I think, and I will be having Bruno and then subbing him out next week. So I think that's fine. Simon, yeah, Lower Holmesdale have 3 season tickets. Want to go Sunday? Have spares in Lower Holmesdale if you want to join. Far out, actually. I might. Can you ping me on like Twitter or something? We'll chat on there. It'd actually be quite fun. My mate's actually sent me a similar one, being like, "There's a game at Wembley." I don't know if he's playing some random rubbish, but he's got tickets there as well. Why are you going with DCL over Welbeck? I'm on Welbeck over DCL at the moment. I think this is one that we can discuss. I mean, if you look at my wildcard team here, I have gone Welbeck over DCL. I do think that Justin might move to Bijol. Which 3 Leeds assets should we have on a wildcard? Yeah, I think for me, the Leeds assets are a difficult one. So at the back, I've obviously talked through. I think Strike, Justin, Bijol are the best ones to have. In my opinion, I think potentially I might move Justin to Bijol, given Rodon's out until May. In the midfield for Leeds, Ampadu or Aronson. Aronson, I think, he's not going to play 90 minutes every game. Basically, Aronson, right? You're buying a guy who's going to play maybe 140, max 150 minutes over the double game week. So, you know, does he score more points than someone in 90 minutes, like a Bruno or something like that? I don't know. I don't know if you can say he can. Whereas Ethan Ampadu, for me, he's one of those like DEFCON midfielders. Like he's unlikely to pick up. He's not likely to get a high ceiling, but he probably runs a 2 and a 4 or 4 and a 4. He gets you 6, maybe 8 points. It's a bit of a safe pick, but he's definitely going to play 90 minutes both weeks. Gomez, yeah, I mean, look, obviously he could pick up a yellow card, but it's only game week 32 against Burnley, and he knows he's on 9 yellow cards, so he basically gets a yellow against Burnley. He misses 33. Like, he's an idiot if he does that. Like, he misses both games. He'll get a 2-game suspension for that. So, you look, I think against Burnley, he plays 60, 65 minutes, gets subbed off because they don't want him to get a yellow. But it's still against Burnley, and I think Gomez is by far the best Brighton pick, and he'll be the best Brighton pick in the double. When it gets to game week 33, if he picks up a yellow in the first game, it doesn't matter. He won't get suspended after that. So I think he plays back-to-back in the doubles. I'd honestly rather Bruno next week than like an Ampadu, and I think that's fine to have that view. Like, to be honest, like if you do think that, maybe you put like Tavernier in your side here, and you have Bruno. You leave out the third Leeds player, and then you decide in game week 33 whether you want to transfer Bruno out for an Ampadu or not. You could easily go with Bruno in that double game week 33, but I think you have to have a minimum of 14 double game week players on a bench boost. Otherwise, it's a waste. Otherwise, no point wildcarding into a 15-person bench boost team. Just wildcard into 11 and 4 other players that you really like your 4 favourite players. No point doing a bench boost if you're going to have more than one single game week player. Just don't do it. Ashley Curzon, hi mate, just subscribed. Would you put in Ampadu or Rice on a wildcard? I definitely have Ampadu, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm not even sure Rice is going to play this week, having listened to Arteta's press conference, mate. And thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. Rob, would you prefer Struck or Tavernier? Take the biases aside. I know you're asking Rob. It's an interesting one. And Alex, do I prefer Sanchez or Darlow? We already have 2 Leeds defenders. Yeah, definitely Sanchez in that case. Also, I think like Verbruggen Darlow is not a good mix. Whereas if you have Sanchez and Verbruggen or Sanchez and Darlow, say Leeds beat Chelsea, get to the FA Cup final, right? There is a chance that game, the game week 37 match, Leeds v Brighton in 37, gets brought forwards into game week 36, and they both double. That means you're going to have 2 double game week goalkeepers if you go Verbruggen and Darlow, and then in game week 37 you're going to have to make a transfer for your goalie because they're both going to blank. There is a chance that it moves forwards to 36 and it's a double game week. There is a chance they push it midweek in 37 like they did last year. But I think you want to plan for these sort of things so you don't have to do it, especially when you're on a wild card and you have the flexibility to do that. So I think Sanchez and Verbruggen or Sanchez and Darlow are the optimal goalkeeper picks because it allows you that if they do double in 36, one of those two are going to double because either Leeds beat Chelsea or Chelsea beat Leeds. So one of them doubles in 36. The other one's going to have a game in 37. So you don't have to make any transfers and you get the double game week goalkeeper, which is absolutely ideal. So I think that's the way to go definitely for goalkeepers. You either have Sanchez and Verbruggen or Sanchez and Darlow. Attempts to get DCL Welbeck so I can place a Leeds defender with Van Heck. Yeah, Josiah, that's the one I've been tossing up all week, mate. I really have. I just don't like DCL enough. Like, I do think the extra Brighton defender is probably nicer than the extra Leeds defender. But then I don't like the Leeds mid. Like, I wouldn't want Aronson over Gomez in the midfield. I wouldn't want Aronson and Ampadu. And then Van Heck over like Justin or something like that. And I just not a fan of DCL. I'm sorry, just don't like it. So I thought Welbeck for maybe 110, 120 minutes is probably better than DCL for 180. But we will see, Cap C, I beg do me now. I've got to go for the whole deadline, so I'm cooked, so please do me now. And then I go, sorry, late notice, 887447. Yes, Cap, wildcard. Your chat under your face isn't updating. Oh. It's weird. Let's just have a crack at fixing that. We're there now, right? Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I read the chat on the side anyway, so I can't see it on that small screen. Sorry. Yeah, Cap, I sent you on Insta like what my wildcard team. Honestly, I just go with what this is. Like, unless you already have a wildcard team, I can't see it on FPL Game Week. I definitely recommend wildcarding in 32 and bench boosting in 33. I think you should do it. I don't think it really matters what your team is. For just this week, would you start Palmer and JP or swap one with Tavernier? I actually just had this is what my team is for this week. If that helps. Alex, your chat on your face. How much are we certain on Matoma minutes? We're not at all certain on Matoma minutes. Do I wildcard? Please help. We've got to go soon. Yes, wildcard Cap. Darlow and switch Justin for Van Heck Could you not do Van Heck and Justin and Tavernier for Gomez? Yes, but then wouldn't you need don't you then have... You need like a second Bournemouth mid? Adam? Yeah, I mean, yes, you can if you're going to leave Bruno in there for 33. But my consideration is that Bruno might not be in there for 33, and I want Gomez for Burnley. I want Gomez for Burnley. I think Gomez is a good pick. Nick, what's up, bro? Swap DCL to Welbeck and Van Heck to Bijo. Nice. Taking out Gabriel, such a big budget loss. Otherwise, would have yeeted him. Hey, man. Yeah, I know, but I think budget's not a problem at the moment this year. Like, no one really has Salah and Haaland, so it's not that difficult. Whatever happened to the guy you loved Verstappen in here for a few weeks back? Yeah, Alexandros, was it? I wish I was in that stream. I love a debate. No, you don't. You don't wish you were in that stream. Who's captain this week? Bruno so far the pick. Yeah, I haven't really thought too much about the captaincy, honestly, this week. I think I just sort of gone with Bruno out of instinct, the form he's been in. But United, as we know, do shit after a bit of a break. So, yeah, 7 mil available on Wildcard makes no difference leaving that. Gabriel, I agree. Game week 32 looks really poor on Wildcard, like double Bournemouth defensive against Arsenal. I actually don't think that looks that poor. I think Senesi and Hill get DEFCON. If they don't get DEFCON, they might keep a clean sheet. Like, Arsenal are not very good going forwards at all. 1-0 v Sporting. They've been so defensive lately. Like, Bournemouth have been really good in form defensively. I don't dislike it at all. I really don't dislike this game week. I look at other people's game week 32 side. I think I could easily outscore a lot of them. Like, yeah, I need a few things to go my way, but like, I've got so many differentials in it. Like, you just think, you look at your team. There are sometimes weeks where you look at your team and you're like, everybody has all the players that I have, and like, how am I going to outscore other teams? This week, I look at it and be like, if some of the people that they think are always going to score points don't go well. Like, I've got so many differentials that can do well, and like, I think have a genuine chance to do well. Like, it might be a bit less likely, but I don't think it looks like a bad team on paper. I think people have massively overhyped game week 32 teams not looking like a good team. Yeah, I would say, like, statistically on paper, like, a non-wildcard team maybe looks a little bit better, but I don't think it's by much. It might be by like 5 to 7 points. But I don't think it's by much. I think you just got to have the guy that hauls. It's been like FPL all season. You have like Malik Thior when he gets a 17-pointer, you get a massive green arrow. Like, there's been a lot of luck about it as well as a lot of planning. But I think ultimately, it is just the best option to bench boost with 15 double game weekers. Like, you're always going to have a better score with that. You're going to free hit in 34. 35, the team looks quite good if you look at this in 35. And then 36, there is a chance that they double in 36. I know, like, it's probably a 50-50 whether it gets pushed back in 37 or pushed forwards to 36. If these guys double again in 36 and you've suddenly got 9 double game weekers, you're laughing. You're laughing. And the way that we've organised this team is that in 37, you know, you're going to have a goalkeeper that's playing. You're going to have a couple of free transfers because we've talked about saving those free transfers in 35 and 36 if we can. And you're going to have 11 playing players in 37 as well. So you're just going to have the best team all of those weeks. Like the weeks that you're going to... The only week that maybe you might struggle is 32, and is 5-7 points worth losing out on an extra 4 matches? Not for me. Not for me. All of these teams also have stuff to play for. Like, Brighton are playing for Europe. Bournemouth are playing for Europe. Leeds is playing to stay up. United are playing for Champions League. Chelsea are playing for Champions League. Like, nobody's sitting on the beach. And if you look at some of the fixtures that they play against, like, they are playing against teams that are either struggling or they're on the beach. They're on the beach, or they will be on the beach. Like Newcastle could easily be on the beach by like game week 36. Palace are gonna be on the beach by the end of the season for sure. They're probably already on the beach thinking about Fiorentina and the Conference League. So you got a lot of teams here that are, like they're going to be playing against that are not playing for anything. Anyway, so to continue, we were discussing sort of each section a little bit before we went on to you guys' teams. So we'll go on to the mids. This is what we're sort of looking at in that midfield section. Like I think Gomez stands out here for sure. You've got Aronson in there as well at Leeds. That is probably where you could easily come and be like, you know, maybe you could go Aronson over Gomez, and then get Van Heck in there for like for one of the Leeds defenders, and like I get that, and I think you could go Aronson over Ampadu easily. I think that one is a choice, and like maybe I haven't made the right choice there, but I think you've got to go with your gut on these sort of things. Saka, Palmer and Haaland though, but that is just hoping Saka gets in form. Saka probably doesn't even play this week, does he, for Arsenal? I think Arteta leaves him out. Isaac, good day mate, how you going? Arthur Jones, should I do Ekatike and Mbumo to Gross and Haaland to afford Haaland, or should I risk Gomez? Definitely Gomez over Gross, man. Don't even think about Gross, man. That's a terrible pick. I don't know why people even have him in their draft. Stupid pick. He's just going to get 4 points in the double game week. If you had Tav, would you play him over Hill this week? No, I'd rather Bournemouth defence rather than Bournemouth attack against Arsenal. I think Arsenal are much more likely to keep a clean sheet than to score a goal. Would you not play João Pedro over Hill, Senesi or Struck? I'd probably play him over Strike, yeah. Yeah, I would. I'd play João Pedro over Pascal Strike. Rob, 3 Leeds players in the wildcard team. Best game week ever. Unbelievable. Checked 5 FPL people. All 5 have same teams. FFS. I assume they're not the same team as me. Definitely not. Don't think anyone else would. Our best attacker is 16. Max Dalman. United went on a special training session in Dublin this week. Think they should be fit. Special training session, eh? Yeah, I don't know what else you do in Dublin. Except train, splitting the G. I sent it to our group chat, our members chat. I split the G perfectly this week. Hill or Tav to start this week? Yeah, I'd start Hill. Do I keep Gabriel on my wildcard given that I got him for 6.2 million? No, get rid of Gabriel, man. Gabriel just shouldn't be in your team. Just shouldn't be in your team. No point. Yeah, I mean, a few options in the midfield. If you want to gamble on someone like a Pedro Neto, I don't mind something like that. Obviously, Enzo's out for 32, but he comes back in 33. You could potentially look at having triple Chelsea attack. I think that's a bit wild, but they do have Forest and Liverpool in 35 and 36, which are 2 easy fixtures. I am a Liverpool fan. Nish, my guy, what's going on? You're here way too early. Edwin, hello, bro. How are you? Great to see you guys in the chat. They are shit after a break, but it's Leeds and they will be up for it. One of my favourite fixtures due to its history, Paul. Yeah, that's true. That's a huge historical fixture, actually. Yeah, Leeds are missing a few guys this week. Key players, Rodon and Stack. Some key players. Okafor, we're not sure about. Yeah. 22 people watching. Is that it? Fucking hell. Crack on, lads. Get in here. Get involved. Am I wild for not wanting Palmer? I know he's on pens, but he's been absolute dog shit and looks perma injured until he gets surgery. Yeah, I think you should have Palmer. Yeah, I think you've got to have Palmer. Like, if you're on a wild card, it's just like, yeah, obviously he's been dog shit, but he's on pens. He is like one of the guys that plays the furthest forward, and he can score a bunch of goals. Like, he can. Like, he might not, but he can. What's my reasoning for JP bench instead of Struck Hill? Gut. Man City to, like... Yeah, I don't know. I've already got Palmer. I didn't want Palmer and JP. But I mean, Hill maybe you're maybe right about that. Maybe that could easily. Yeah, I guess this could be. I think definitely. I was probably a bit torn between maybe going Hill out, João Pedro in. But you just think like, how many goals are Chelsea going to score against Man City? I don't know if they're going to score tons. Do I back Bournemouth more to keep a clean sheet and get DEFCON? Like, I think he's definitely going to get DEFCON. Yeah, I don't know, man. Be nice if Chelsea Man City was like 4-4, a couple of O'Reilly goals in there. Edwin 7564793. If you got a wildcard team, mate, if you reply to my latest Twitter post with your wildcard team, we'll talk through the teams now. I'd play JP over Palmer this week, though. Yeah, I think that's valid as well. Like, I probably could go there. Honestly, it's a bit of gut. I think the picks here are a little bit gut instinct. And I think you should always trust your gut in FPL. So if you think it's better, like if you have a similar team and you think one guy over the other should start, you should definitely start him. It all depends on Monday, Paul. Is Bijol fit? I can change Justin to him if we feel he's a better pick over the next coming fixtures. Yeah, well, I think Bijol's going to be fit for 33, so I think I might change Justin to Bijol. I think that's what I'm probably going for. Just feel like he's more guaranteed the 90 minutes every week with Rodon out till May than Justin. Probably good for DEFCON as well. So, and I'm not playing that Leeds defender this week, so I can afford to bench him and him not play this week. So I think Bijol might be the one way to go. Because Farke said he's hoping he'll be available. He did say he's hoping he's available. Aussie, I sent my team on Instagram. Here's my brother. You're streaming and haven't sent me the team I need to pick. Let me just send him the team he needs to pick. Bijol for Justin Probs. Alright, sorry. Sent your team on Insta, Cap C. Yes, let me pull that up, mate. Yeah, please, if you can, guys, reply to my Twitter, because I'm going to be bringing up those teams. Yeah, get rid of Gross, get rid of Gabriel. I'd go Gomez and who are you missing there? Gomez and Hill. And get rid of King and go like Tavernier or Ampadu or Aronson. That's what I'd do, Cap. Looking to sell Tav, best pick in the same price range. Maybe Ryan. This is your price range for Tav, isn't it? This sort of area. Ryan, Mitoma is a bit risky. Minte is a bit risky. Pedro Neto, like that's probably where you're looking. And then you're looking at Gomez, Ampadu, Anthony, Aronson. That's probably what you're looking at. Maybe Aronson, Gomez, Ampadu. I don't like Gross at all. I think Gross is a terrible pick. Ryan. Reply to my Twitter, mate. T_FPL on Twitter. I will. I'll put my Twitter name on the bottom of the screen so you guys can see it. Just give me a second. Just got to click through these. Yeah, there you go. I'll pause it on there. T_FPL on Twitter. Just reply to my latest comment. In fact, what I'll start doing now, so everyone doesn't shout at me, is I'll start going through people's teams. So. Paul will run with you first, mate, because you were first in the chat. So Paul's team up on the screen now. Yes, up on the screen now. You're here, yeah, Paul? Start Tavernier or Ampadu. I wouldn't be starting Tav this week. I'd definitely start Ampadu. English Aussie, you look Kurdish. Cool. I actually don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. Kurdish. Iranian ethnic group. Oh. Thanks. So that's because I've got a good skin tone. Why many people pick Hill than Truther? Kentaro? I think just mostly for the DEFCON for Hill, I would say, is why they'd be going there. Robert Light. Scott, yes, Scott is also a decent option actually. Do I not have Scott on my list? Yeah, Scott at Bournemouth. He's also sort of a DEFCON little guy as well. Paul's team name aged like milk. Paul, where are you? You here? He's gone. I'm gonna have to. I'll pull someone else up and then I'll come back to Paul. Let me just. I'll tell you what. I'll just look at my. I'll look at my post and I'll just go down by who replied first. Dylan, you here? Didn't think I saw Dylan in the chat yet, actually. Oh, Paul's here. Oh, where are you, Paul? Disappeared now. All right, let's talk through this, mate. So Verbruggen and I can't see your bench. You killed me here. Where's your bench? You sent me a separate one, didn't you, Paul, before? Which probably has your bench. Now everyone's looking at my Twitter. Like, what's happening? There we go. Let's just pull this one up. Making it difficult for me, mate. Yeah, Amarim's Red Army. Yeah, okay. Verbruggen, Darlow. Yeah, so what I like... You know what I was saying about Verbruggen, Darlow as the two keepers? I understand why you've done it, but I just think that you need to go... that needs to be Verbruggen and Sanchez. Unless you're doing it because you want to bring in like Enzo Fernandez next week. Because like what I was saying, Paul, basically is like if say either way, if Leeds or Chelsea win the FA Cup semi-final, let's for example say Leeds win the FA Cup semi-final, because that's a much better way to think about it, isn't it, Rob? The Leeds play Brighton in 37. FA Cup finals in 37. So that game either goes into midweek in 37 or comes forward to midweek of 36 into a double game week. If it comes forward into 36 as a double game week, both Verbruggen and Darlow will double in 36, and then neither of them will play in 37. So you'll have to make a goalkeeper transfer in 37, which you won't want to do. I think it's 50-50 whether it moves back or moves forward. Last year, it went into midweek in 37. There wasn't a double. So that could happen. But I think given you've got the flexibility to make that decision now and save yourself a transfer in future, I would just have Sanchez in there as the backup instead of Darlow. I think, like, realistically, are you going to be that worried about having a Chelsea keeper starting over a Leeds keeper? Probably not. I think you'll be fine with it on a game week that you need to have Sanchez in there. Chelsea haven't beaten Leeds this season, so it's more likely they'll lose again to the mighty Leeds. Yeah, well, exactly that case. Exactly that case, really. I mean, obviously, if Chelsea win, then you're fine, but that's not going to happen. But and if Chelsea win, then if it does get moved forward to game week 36, you don't have a double, a goalkeeper doubling in that double game week. So you lose out on a fixture there, or you have to use a transfer the other way around. So I think either way, I'd move Darlow to Sanchez. I see. Have you gone Welbeck for Calvert-Lewin and Van Heck to Bijol or Justin? Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to end up with Bijol, so I might make that transfer soon. Before we finish off this stream, I think that's a nice one. And then there was another thing that we were discussing, which was quite interesting. I'm interested in Aronson. I do think he's an option. he is an option. And if you do have Aronson in there, maybe if you had him in there over Gomez, like I would understand. And I think potentially, if Brighton didn't have Burnley this week, I'd consider going Aronson and then Van Heck at the back over Strick or Bijol. I don't know. Struggling to not start Pedro. I think starting Pedro is fine. I might be wrong there, to be honest. Who'd you switch Bijol for? I'm leaving soon for a meeting. Don't want to miss any changes. I'd switch Justin to Bijol. I think that's going to be the change in my wild card. Bijol's flagged on FPL. Yeah, he might not start this game week, but I'm not going to start him this game week anyway. He'll be fit for 33, and he'll play both in that double because Rodon's out till the end of May. So, like, Farke was hoping he'd be back for this week, so he's definitely going to be back next week. But if I haven't made that decision 100%, but I think that's what I'll do. I might have a little bit more of a look into Bijol's injury, but I think he sounded like, from what I was listening to Farke, sounded like he'll be good for 33. I'll go bald if Arsenal don't win the league. A mate of mine in our mini league group chat. Wow. What if you have both DCL and Welbeck up front? JP out and therefore Enzo for Ampadu. We'll just note Enzo's not playing game week 32 for disciplinary reasons. He's out. But yeah, I mean, again, you just got DCL up front. I think that's probably my major issue. I think I just don't like DCL up top. Adam Bailey, if you get to my team and I don't answer, it's because I'm driving. I am listening though. All right, legend. I'll get there. Trust me. Bowen, Welbeck, Thiago, pick 2. Welbeck and Welbeck. FPL MFC. Welbeck and Welbeck. Leave out the other 2. If you're on a wild card, leave them out. Welbeck. Welbeck and Welbeck. Yeah, struggling to not start JP. Yeah, I think that's fine, Paul. I think what you've started is probably better than what I've started. But I would say Hill out for what João Pedro is probably nice. I'm not sure I'm going to do it, but I think it's nice. I might do it. Best Leeds defender outside of Struck. Bijol or Justin, mate. One of the 2. We haven't made the call yet, but I think we're between those 2. Stop it, Rob. Stop it. Leeds fan, that is, telling you that. FPL MFC. If he's wrong, you know who to go after. All right, Paul, some things to consider. I think I'm happy with you starting JP. I don't have a problem with Bogle. I just think he's more likely to miss out than anybody else. He's played right wing, right back. Yeah, I think there's a chance he can miss out some minutes as well. Okay. All right, back to people in chat that have posted their team has replied to my Twitter. Rob. All right, Rob. Verbruggen, yeah, same thing about Verbruggen and Darley that we've talked about. I obviously hate Gabriel in a wildcard team. Is this you, Rob? This isn't your team, is it? Sergeant_Rock68. Are you in the chat? This is a different Rob. Yeah, if you're in the chat, I would move Darley to Sanchez, Gross to Gomez, and Gabriel to whoever the hell else. I'll move on to people that actually are in the chat. Isaac, you're here. I saw you earlier. I am Leeds FPL Talk. You are Leeds FPL Talk, mate. Yeah, Isaac. Okay. All right. I think we need to have a discussion about Gabriel. I think we need to have a discussion about Gabriel here, because I know a lot of people seem to have him in the team, and I just not feeling it. Yeah, look, I mean, I guess we can discuss based off, what are Arsenal's fixtures over the next how many weeks? Maybe I can pull that up on screen as well. Yeah, so Arsenal play Bournemouth, City, Newcastle, Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, Crystal Palace. So, look, from game week 35, game week 36, really, you got 3 great games. West Ham, Burnley, Crystal Palace to end the season. Teams that, Burnley are probably going to be relegated by 37. Ashley Curzon, sorry if I missed you answering this question. Have you on in the background while I'm working? Would you have Szoboszlai or Palmer? Palmer for sure, Ashley. Adam, what if I JP to DCL and Justin to Fofana? Yeah, that's fine, mate, if that's the way you want to go. I don't recommend it, but I actually don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind it at all. But I think I'd rather Welbeck to DCL and Justin to Van Heck. I actually think that's better, because that Brighton game if you're gonna go DCL, I think you keep JP and you have Van Heck, because I think there's more upside to that. I think there's more upside keeping JP. I think you get rid of Welbeck if you do it that way. Yeah, sorry, Isaac. Yeah, so I think we've got to have that discussion about Gabriel. And look, I maybe have a future plan team as well. I wonder if I can find it and what it looks like in future game weeks. Which is this team? Yeah, let me try and pull this up. Oh, yuck. Yeah, you guys should be able to see that. So this is what, if we go through the game weeks. Game week 32, game week 33 bench boost, you obviously got all double game weekers. We'll bring in Tavernier for Bruno. Game week 34 with free hit, well, let's not look at that for now. Then game week 35, your team probably looks a little bit like this. Now, my question is, do you like this team? If you don't, you're going to have... Sorry, this is assuming I bring back Bruno. Otherwise, that's Tav. So you're going to have 2 free transfers. You can potentially use one. Let's say you use one on Bruno. And you use one on... Leeds v Burnley at home. You're going to struggle to want to take these guys out. I think that's a great fixture. I think City want O'Reilly. I think you potentially would have O'Reilly maybe over Gabriel against Fulham. So maybe you don't end up bringing Gabriel in 35. Like Palace on the beach, don't really have any offense. I know we beat Fiorentina 3-0, but don't really have a lot of offensive threat, to be perfectly honest. Play mostly on the counter. So I'm looking at that team thinking, do I need Gabriel in 35? I'm literally playing 5 defenders for a reason, because they look great. So, okay, bring Bruno in. 36. Now, I know I've made some transfers in here, and I can't remember what it looks like. Yeah, so, 36, we're basically saying that... we're basically saying Palace are going to double with Man City in 36. So you want 3 doublers, Man City, 2 doublers for Palace, maybe. Maybe. I'm not convinced that you are going to want this. It just depends whether they push that Palace game into 36 or they have it in midweek 37 and they push the Bournemouth game forwards. If they push the Bournemouth game forwards, then you're not going to want to move. You're not going to want to move Hill. You potentially are not going to want to move Tavernier in this week, which I guess makes you consider who you bring in Bruno for. Maybe in 35 you don't bring in Bruno for Tav, you bring him in for Ampadu. Maybe that's a better option. actually, that does look a bit nicer. Yeah, and then you've got this option here of like, yeah, then this week you're looking at your team. You've got Gomez v Wolves. Like again, this team is looking quite nice. I'm looking at it going, João Pedro v Liverpool, great fixture. Palmer v Liverpool, great fixture. Like Man City doubling, Palace doubling, Gomez v Wolves, Welbeck v Wolves, great fixtures. Verbruggen v Wolves, great fixtures. Senesi's probably the only one here you're looking at going, okay, maybe this can be Gabriel. Game week 36, you bring Gabriel in. Not for a -4, but I mean, I guess if you don't bring in Sarr, that stays as Bruno Fernandes. And your team's looking like that, which is quite nice. Potentially might not have the budget for that, but I don't think that Gabriel there is an essential. I don't think he's an essential. So, yeah, I just think looking at that, like this again is why I like the Welbeck Gomez, because later on they've got some fixtures where I think it's quite nice from an attacking perspective to have these guys in your team, and you're going to want the upside. And then, yeah, you go into 37. Again, like, I brought in Malik Thiel here. You could easily bring in Gabriel for 2 game weeks. But at the same time, you're looking at it going, everybody and their dog is going to have Gabriel. If Arsenal have wrapped up the league now. So, like, we basically said by 36, maybe then you would consider bringing in Gabriel, potentially for a Senesi, right? That makes sense to me. Okay, I'm fine with that. Arsenal could win the league after 36. 37, 38, they could still be in the Champions League. You start looking at this fixture schedule, suddenly you're thinking, all right, well, you know, game week 35 either side, they have Champions League semi-finals. Game week 36, they're going to have a game. Then they're going to go in game week 37, having wrapped up the title. Maybe they give their players a rest in game week 37. Gabriel doesn't get a game. Yeah, he might finish out and he plays game week 38, celebrate the title against Crystal Palace before the UCL after that, the Champions League final. But easily game week 37 could be the week that they start to give their players a rest. 36, 37, that could be prime time for Arsenal to rest players, especially if they've got the league almost wrapped up by then. It's gonna massively the Man City Arsenal game in 33 is going to massively decide a lot of things. So I just think Gabriel's not a requirement in your team. I think you can bring him in 36, 37, but he's not a requirement for bench boost 33. You're going to free hit in 34, so you can have him in that team if you want. 35, as we looked at, like the team looks pretty nice. And then 36, yeah, okay, maybe missing him for 1 week against West Ham is a tough one, but you could always bring him in with a transfer. Over bringing in a double game week player like a Munoz or a Sarr for Crystal Palace, who are going to be on the beach, so and may not play in 36 in both. Because also you've got to bear in mind here, Crystal Palace, they're 3-0 up against Fiorentina in that Conference League. Either side of game week 35, they're going to be playing Conference League semi-finals. They're going to go into game week 36 with another double. Are those players then going to play back-to-back in that double as well? They're going to have played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They would have ended up playing 7 fixtures in, just over 2 weeks. In 3 weeks, they're going to have played 7 fixtures. That's tough for them. Are you sure that those Crystal Palace boys are going to be playing back-to-back in those doubles? I know we don't have a lot of players. That is an issue. But, they might not even play the night. They might be getting taken off after 60 minutes, etc. So you might want to bring in Gabriel in 36 instead of one of those guys. So I just think he's not necessarily on a wild card whatsoever. I don't think anybody's put in enough thought. That anybody that's saying Gabriel should be in that team, they've not been thinking. So anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts. Sorry. Agreed, thinking no need Gabby and just bring in Hill as well. Also for Darlow and Gomez for Bree and Aronson, therefore. Okay, let me get back to the team. I was just harping on. Sorry. That's my job, isn't it? Just harp on.
Okay, yeah. Darlow and Gomez for Verbruggen and Harrison. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that, Isaac. I think that's good. Or just make transfer for Gabby to Hill and use Sanchez this week. No, I like what you went for. I think that's cool. Yeah, the keepers. I think you've got to have Sanchez and Darlow or Sanchez and Verbruggen. I'd personally just have Sanchez and Verbruggen just because you get then a good goalie this week, and then you just play Verbruggen in goal versus Burnley. That's why I subbed out Heck, because I wanted to have the goalie that I wanted. Van Heck, yeah. Because then at least like your defender, like a Strike or a Bijol, like they have the potential for DEFCON, whereas like a Darlow, for example, doesn't have that. He just gets 2 points if if they concede one. Yeah, that's why I like Verbruggen in goal this week. Yeah, cool, nice one, mate. Don't have wildcard free hitting in 33. Should I sell Timber? If so, to who? Yeah, I would sell Timber. Sell him to like a O'Reilly. You got O'Reilly? You got 3 City. If you got 3 City, you're good. Yeah. Otherwise, maybe I'd potentially go Van Heck. He gets the double in there as well. Oh no, you're free hitting in 33. I mean, it's still one of the best fixtures to be honest. Actually, Brighton. All right, let me have a quick look for you. Don't mind Aston Villa defence either. Konsa. Yeah, Brighton have some good fixtures. Konsa's nice. Yeah, I'd consider Konsa, mate. I think that's where it'll go. Keeper, yeah, I'm about 680k, hoping to get in top 100k. It's going to be a tough slog, Isaac, mate, but good luck. All right, Mr. Leeds FPL TED Talk. Hello. How are we, Rob? Hopefully you're still floating around here. So no DCL is the way. Oh, yeah, I mean, I think so, but it does make more sense. Death for you, 666. That's not very nice, mate. You got to have another name. What would be your recommendation to this wildcard if you had no free transfer? How will you switch back to Leeds since they are essential moving forwards? Sounds like Rob on an alternate account. What would be your recommendation to the wildcard if you had no free transfers? Same, man. Even if you had none. Like, I look at my team now. What do I have free transfer-wise? Oh. What did I have last week? I can't remember. Let's find out. Yeah, I think I had one transfer rolled. So I would have had 2. So I mean, I've only got one more transfer than you, really. I think you're fine. I think you have the same sort of team, Death for you, and then switch back to Leeds. I won't be switching back. I just have Leeds on the wild card, so Leeds are essential moving forwards. You just never thought this would come up this year, did you? Never thought it'd come up this year. I did reply to this picture, by the way, with an alternative. Did you? Okay, sorry. Let's look at the alternative. This is your alternative, is it, Rob? Verbruggen, Sanchez, Fofana, O'Reilly, Strike, Hilson, Essie, Bruno, Palmer, Semenyo, Gomez, Tab, Haaland, Calvert. Yeah. I think if you, like I said, mate, if you go Calvert-Lewin, you keep João Pedro in there. I don't think Fofana really helps your defence for game week 32. I don't think Calvert-Lewin really helps your attack. So in the double, In the double, would I rather have Fofana and DCL or JP and like Bijol slash Bijol slash Justin? I think I'd rather have JP and Bijol slash Justin. Yeah. Yeah. I think so, lad. Keep picking up the wrong file. Dylan, hey mate, just finished work. Nice one. I'll pull your team up after Rob's. Leeds are essential. So do the first picture and swap Bruno Fernandes for a Leeds midfielder next weekend. I think so, mate. Or I'd have no. Yeah. And you went Ferdy Kadioglu over Van Heck, basically. Was that your differential? I don't mind that. Are you going to switch out Bruno next week? I don't know. I don't know, Josiah. I really don't know. I haven't decided on that one. I might keep Bruno next week, to be honest. It also saves me a transfer further down the line as well, because I would have probably brought Bruno back in 35. So whether I want Tavernier or a Bournemouth midfielder versus Bruno, I'm not sure. I think I might keep Bruno. But I think you have to have 14 double game week bench boosts. Death for you, mate. Which one is your team? None of these are my team, mate. These are all subscribers' teams that send me on Twitter. My team's in my latest video. Oh, I can show you. Here, look, this is my team. Just quickly show you, and I'll flick back. That's what I'm on at the moment. I think Justin probably becomes B-Joel by the end of this stream. If you truly do believe I'll copy your team, I'll stop my tech talk and believe. No, mate, I don't think it's set in stone. Like, I think the discrepancies that we have are good discrepancies to have. Like, they're ones that I would say the guys in my team that I'm not sold on are going to be Bijol, going to be Tavernier, Gomez, and Ampadu, and Welbeck. I don't know, I'm actually pretty sold on Gomez, to be honest. I'm pretty sold on Gomez. So I'd say Welbeck for the minutes problem. I think he's a great pick if he plays both games, for sure. Tav, I'm not convinced about. Ampadu, I'm getting there, but I like Aronson as well. And then Bijol obviously is a concern for me just because of, whether he plays 90-90. Trippier Mobile, hey bro, how are you? If I can't get in either O'Reilly or Van Heck, I would have to get rid of either Evan Nilsson or Calvert-Lewin. Should I do it? And if so, who should I replace with? Evan Nilsson, get him out immediately, Trippy. Get out Evan Nilsson. He's not going to play, like, if you've seen his how much he plays, he plays not 70 one week and then 20 minutes the next week. Yeah, Tavernier could become Scott. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's sort of your, like, with the way I went for Ampadu, you've sort of gone, like, that's what you could have Ampadu in there now. If you prefer Ampadu to Tavernier and Scott, why don't you stick him in there now? And then you can decide who your Bournemouth midfielder is going to be next week. If you know who you want your Leeds mid to be, I mean, you might not. Maybe you want another week to think about whether you want Ampadu or Aronson or whoever. But if you're confident on the Leeds more than the Bournemouth, then just go 3 Leeds now and then bring in Tav next week. Tav or Scott or Ryan or whoever. I called it for Scott a month ago on WhatsApp and he did great. Yeah, he's been great. Defcon's been really good. Oh, because you have to wait for Monday because you want Okafor. Isn't Okafor striker though? Isn't he striker in FPL? Or am I dumb? Oh no, he's a mid. I thought he was a striker in FPL for some reason. Who should I replace Evan Nelson with? I have DCL and Thiago. Are you on wildcard, Trippy? Why you got Thiago on a wildcard? Replace him with Haaland, bro. You got the money for that? Haaland? João Pedro? Quex, well gone. Oh, Mara, what's up, King? Can I send my wildcard draft here? I'm about to play football in 20 minutes. I have to lock my team early. Can you send it on Twitter? Reply to my latest tweet with your wildcard team, Omara.
but honestly, like my suggestion would be follow my lead. This is what my team is. That's my suggestion. And what I'm telling everyone is probably to align to that. I might even just... Rob, what are your thoughts on Bijan, mate? Based off interview, you think he'll be good for a double back to back? I hope so. I'm gonna gamble on him. Everyone else is pretty set for minutes, I think, in my team. I'm allowed to take one gamble. Trippier, I've already wildcarded in 24 free hitting next week, so I have too many blanks for 34 if I get Haaland as well. Oh, right. Okay. I mean, that changes things. What was your previous question now? That maybe changes what my answer was. If I get either O'Reilly or Van Heck, I'd have to get rid of Kelvin. Yeah, I mean, I'd still get in O'Reilly. I mean, I'd probably get in Haaland over O'Reilly. Why don't you just go Evan Nilsson to Haaland and don't bother making the other transfer? The O'Reilly one. Trippy, if possible. Can I send my initial team too because I haven't activated the chip? I recommend just activating the wildcard, mate. But you can send your initial team. I'm watching FPL Deadline stream with everyone using the wildcard, but I already play it in game week 23. Oh, no. What's his C-bit? Who did we say? Bijo. I'll show you. I think it's like 10.6 something. $10.27. Oh. What the fuck? Oh, for fuck's sake. I've got like 2 data sets open because I separately created another one for the wildcard teams. And then it's just really annoying. Yeah, there's your mate Jakob. 10.27. Defcon per 90. C-bit, same thing. My calc's a bit better. Well, it's not. It's exactly the same, actually. But my original model was better. I modelled it out for the season before it started. That's why I started well. Just saying it now, Bogle returns. Well, don't say it now, as I don't have him in my team. So shut up. How come BJ adjusted now? I just think he's better for Defcon, and probably because Rodon's out till May, because that's what Farke said in his interview. Likely out till May. That means I think like there's no one else to play CB for Leeds, so he kind of has to play. My defence looks shit. This isn't not my team. You can do better. Yeah, I mean we'll see, bro. Honestly, like I think O'Reilly's a great pick. I think who do I have at the back? Oh yeah, this is my team. I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. Senesi and Hill have been basically the top scoring defenders over the last 4 weeks. Or top scoring in that price range at least. That's what we were talking about earlier. You got Senesi, O'Reilly, 2 of the top 3. Hill, okay, maybe Hill was a little bit lower. But again, in that sort of price bracket, if you're not going into the majors, then you got Bijol, one of them, Hill, one of them, Struck, one of them. The only ones you're really behind Gabriel, Timber, Tarkovsky, Saliba, but I'm not going to go Arsenal. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And they got an extra game week than all of those guys as well. So, I mean, if you factor that in, I would say that's a really good defence, to be honest. So, beg to differ. Beg to differ. Do you think I should free hit next week? Yeah. 5 players who are doubling.
Yeah, I probably would. Who do you have, actually? Do you have 3 Man City players? You don't have Man City players. Yeah, I would free hit in 33 then, for sure. I'd free hit in 33. You can go a little bit differential with your free hit, I guess. Adam, I've just popped in for a slight alternative team for wildcard. Yeah, sorry, Dylan. Let me pull up your team now, because you were first on this list as well. Yeah, we were talking about how Gabriel should be out, mate. Oh, sorry. Here's your team. This is your team, deal. Tom Peak. Hi, mate. Got a bit of an issue at the moment. Stupidly burnt my wildcard a while ago and planning on free hit 33 to cover double game week. Raya plus Bowen or Welbeck. Issue blank game week 34 for Hugo and Sanchez to future-proof team. Hugo? Oh, Ekatike, yeah. And Sanchez. Raya and Bowen or Welbeck. Well, I'd move Raya and Bowen, because Welbeck's got a great fixture this week against Burnley, so you definitely want him in for that. So yeah, Ryan and Bowen to Ekatike and Sanchez. Yeah, Ekatike. Have a consideration about going Gyökeres. It's probably not well received, but like, if you're not on a wild card, a back end of the season, Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, like, I mean, they're not going to risk Gyökeres, are they? It's a bit of a differential. But yeah, I mean, Ekatike is always a good pick. It's just Liverpool have been trash. Palace will set up a low block. They won't do great against them. Fulham will play. Man United will play. Chelsea will play. Yeah, Liverpool got good fixtures for their style of play, offensively. Like, only Palace would probably set up the low block against them, and they just won't break it down. Oh, you said sell Ekatike and Sanchez for Raya and Bowen. Oh yeah. Go Welbs. Yeah, Welbs and Raya. Yeah, Welbs and Raya for sure. Do you think Welbeck will play both the doubles at least 70 minutes? No. But I think in 120 minutes he probably does more than DCL. I hope he does, but I'm not sure he does. Dylan, sorry, this is your wildcard team, yeah? Yeah, I just don't like Gabriel, mate. Like, I really don't. Like, I just talked through him on this stream earlier, why I don't think you should have him in your team. He's not required until 35, 36, and you can make... If you got a free transfer or two, you can easily bring him back in 36. And you have to see at that point whether Arsenal already wrapped up the league, because they could beat City. If they beat City, the league's basically done. FTBL 07 have 3 free transfers right now. If I free hit next week, my 3 free transfers will be intact in game week 34. Yes. Whoa. Yes. If you roll this week, you'll have 4 free transfers for game week 34. However many free transfers you have going into the free hit is the same amount of free transfers you'll have in 34, yeah. And look at my alternative team I just posted. This one. Darlow, Sanchez, O'Reilly, Van Heck, Strikes, and Essie. Yeah, I much prefer this team, mate. In fact, I almost... How is this so nice? Oh, yeah, because you're thinking then Bruno Fernandes doesn't move next week. Otherwise, it would be Ampadu, eh? Yeah, I like that team. I like that team a lot. Who do you play in goal this week? Darlow, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I like that team, Dylan. Much better, mate. I much prefer this one. Yeah, Gabs was the issue. If anyone get Dowman, he's been class, and I don't think he's in the UCL squad. That's an interesting differential. Are you now BJ over Justin? Yeah, I am at the moment. Okay, no worries, Dylan. Rob, Paul, Isaac, Adam Bailey. Yes, my man. I know you're driving, but just to let you know, we're doing your team, Adam Bailey. So keep listening if you're driving. Don't look at your phone. I will talk through it as if so you can hear me. Verbruggen, Darlow. So the one thing I've got to say about this is, firstly, team generally looks pretty nice. I've got two things I want to say. The Verbruggen, Darlow goalkeepers. And like the chances here are probably, I would say maybe like 40-50% of this happening. But whether Chelsea beat Leeds or Leeds beat Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final, the FA Cup final was played on game week 37. So that fixture will move. That fixture in 37 for Leeds or for Chelsea will either go into midweek in game week 37 or into midweek in game week 36. Now, for those of you that are watching, I pull the fixtures up on here. If it for Adam, I'll explain it anyway. If it obviously comes forward into 36, then you'll have say Leeds win, Leeds will double in 36 and then blank in 37. Leeds play Brighton in 37, so Brighton would also blank, would also double in 36 and blank in 37 if they move that fixture forward and not back into midweek of 37. Now, having said that, last year they did move it into midweek of 37 and there was no double. But there is a chance that they move it forward into game week 36. That means that if you have Verbruggen and Darlow at the moment, in game week 36, both of them will double, and in game week 37, both of them will blank, and you have to use a goalkeeper transfer in game week 37. So the best way to avoid this, for me, is to have Sanchez as one of your goalkeepers, and then Verbruggen or Darlow as the other one. Personally, I would have Verbruggen because he has a great fixture in game week 32 now against Burnley. So I would go Verbruggen and Sanchez. That means that if Chelsea beat Leeds and it comes forwards in 36, Chelsea will double in 36. They'll blank in 37, but Leeds will have a game in 37 because they didn't make it to final. If Leeds beat Chelsea, Leeds will double in 36. Brighton will also double in 36, but then Chelsea will have a fixture in 37. So you can play Sanchez in goal in that game week 37. You'll also have you guaranteed double game weeker for 36 and a guaranteed fixture in 37 if the fixtures move forwards. Is a big if. Oh, sorry, your big if was if Chelsea win. That's right. Yeah, so, I mean, the fact that you have this wild card and you have the ability to be a little bit flexible with it, I would look to just cover that option. Like, I reckon it's probably 40-50% chance that the game week moves forwards into 36 versus midweek in 37. I'd cover that option by replacing Darlow in your team, Adam, with a Sanchez. That's fine because you've only got one other Chelsea in there at the moment. And then depending, 5.4 million in the bank, unsure whether to book Bowen's Pedro in and can't close code who to bench. Yeah, and then I guess your other option in this team is obviously whether you play Bowen this week and then bring João Pedro in for the double. I actually think what you've done is fine, assuming you're going to hold Bruno Fernandes through game week 33, which I reckon you probably will. So I'm happy for you to go with Bowen. I think that's fine, but I think he needs to go to João Pedro in game week 33. So you will have to book in one transfer there. And then just thinking on your starting lineup. So I think your defence is good. O'Reilly, Van Heckstruck, Semenyo, then Tav is the one I would move. Bruno, Palmer, Haaland, Welbeck, Bowen. Yeah, I'd probably just place Senesi over Tav. I just think I think it's more likely that Bournemouth, like Arsenal, for example, like not being offensively great, defensively really solid. I think it's more likely that Arsenal keep a clean sheet than score a goal. And Bournemouth have been probably one of the best defensive teams over the last 4 game weeks, as I was showing earlier. From everyone up to about 6 million or 5.5 million. Outside of the Arsenal defenders, basically, Bournemouth have been the highest scoring defence in the last 4 weeks. I know they've had good fixtures, but again, they have still done that. So, and I think Senesi's slightly better than Hill for DEFCON. Has a little bit more offensive threat, maybe. Doesn't score own goals. If you've had James Hill before. So, I think I'd probably start Senesi over Tav. And the fact that Krupi was taking pens, that Tav's not even the penalty taker, upset me enough to go against that. So, I otherwise like the team. I just think my final suggestions for you, Adam, just so you can hear while you're driving, is Darlow out to Sanchez for that 36-37 to fix that. And then just start Senesi over Tavernier. I think Bowen's fine to have in and just book out the transfer in 33. But yeah, it's a nice differential to have in 32 when everyone's banging on about how wildcard teams apparently not strong. Yeah, I think the team looks really nice. Okay. Let me just quickly refresh my Twitter to see if any more wildcard teams came through. AY Beckham? Are you in the chat? Post my wildcard draft on Twitter, mate. Yeah, Nish, can you reply to my latest post with your wildcard team, bro? Okay, now let's look back at these comments. Sorry. When are you going over to non-wildcards with team IDs? You're not wildcarding, are you, Edwin? Did you sent me your team ID? I know you did because I saw it come in the chat, but then I thought you were wildcarding. That's what I said. Oh, that's you, Omar, is it? Nice, bro. So that's your current team. Yeah, you definitely should wildcard. Firstly, definitely wildcard that team. Petrovic, Senesi, Hill. Oh, mate, if you're going to wildcard, you got the bench boost as well, Omar, yeah? If you got the wildcard, you got a wildcard into 15 double game weekers. Other than Bruno, you got to have 15. There's no point. There's no point not doing that, basically. You have all the chips. So you have triple captain as well for 36. Not wildcarding, I don't think, since I don't have the bench boost. Yeah, then Edwin, you just wildcard in 33, mate. I just wildcard in 33. Free hit in 36. You free hit in 33. Wildcard in 35. Yeah, Omar, 100%. Yeah, bench boost 33, TC 36, free hit 34. Like, that's got to be your strategy. You got a wild card this week. Look, honestly, like I'd recommend this. Oh, sorry, I don't have your team up on my screen. This is Omar's team. Look, my recommendation is get Garner out of there, get Wilson out of there, get Mbeumo out of there. Because I just don't think it's necessary. I don't mind having Petrovic as the backup goalie. It just means that your other players now are going to be like 2 Chelsea midfielders. You'd probably end up with Palmer and a... No, you're definitely not going to afford Palmer. Can you afford Palmer? About 2 mil. You get Diego Gomez in for Wilson. That gives you 1.1. Yeah, you're probably struggling to afford Palmer. Gay should be O'Reilly for sure. Justin, maybe Pascal Struijk. And I'd go Diego Gomez for Wilson because you need the money. Ampadu for Ghana. And then can you get to Palmer for Mbeumo? You're gonna need Ampadu and Gomez 4.9 mil each. You need to lock in now. Yeah, honestly, this is really what I think you should have, which is what was on my screen. But I obviously don't want to take you away from some of the picks that you've gone for. So I know you've gone for Petrovic. Like if you're going to do that, that's fine. You can go Petrovic over Sanchez, not an issue. I think Mbumo needs to go to Palmer. or alternatively to Enzo if you think he's going to start playing the doubles from 33, but it just means you don't have someone this week from Chelsea against City, which is fine. So, I mean, you can go Enzo instead of Palmer, which is quite an interesting differential if you can't afford the Palmer. I think you might not be able to. So, Mbumo to Enzo, Wilson to Diego Gomez, and then Garner to any Leeds midfielder that you like, either Ampadu or Aronson. And then Gay's got to be O'Reilly. Like, I know everyone's going to have him. It's not going to help the rank, but he's got to be O'Reilly. He's either got to be O'Reilly or Nunes. If you want to go differential, you go Nunes, not Gay. Hey, TMT! Yo, what's up, mate? You on wildcard? Do I think Ekitike starts? Yeah, I think so. Comments.
Tom Peake, is it worth selling Nathan Collins, bane of my life this season, for Van Heck just to cover the Brighton clean sheet? Feel a bit of daft waste of a transfer though, as I would then have Van Heck and Hill for 34. Well, I think against Burnley, yeah, it's good, and then you have him for the double game week as well. But could you just go elsewhere this week instead? Like, could you just go to someone who has a good game week 32 and a good game week 34? Like, maybe you could go like Esri Konsa of Aston Villa, or bit rogue, bit differential, but a bit rogue. You could go Tottenham defence against Sunderland and Wolves across those game weeks. I mean, there are options. I mean, to be honest, like Collins' fixtures not great. Everton and United, not great. Oh, Mara, does that help you, bro? Hopefully, I've told you what you need for that team. Teach me shit. Currently, got Darlow and Gabriel on wildcard. Talk me out of it. Easy, no worries. Did you hear what I said about Darlow? Have you got Darlow and Verbruggen, or have you got Darlow and Sanchez? If you got Darlow and Sanchez, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. If you got Darlow and Verbruggen, you need to change. I mean, I actually think you should have Verbruggen and Sanchez. I can talk you out of that as well. If I sell Timber to either O'Reilly / Van Heck, should I sell Evan Nilsson to Bowen even if I have Jose as a goalkeeper? Verbruggen. Yeah, okay. I'll talk you out of it. Just give me a second. TMT. Ross Farrow, which one should I bench? Harry Wilson, Elliot Anderson, or Rodgers? Definitely not Harry Wilson. Probably Elliot Anderson. Rodgers, bro. He's such a troll, isn't he? He's such a troll. Jaakko Nieminen. Great name. Finnish? Would you bench to Rodgers, Wilson, Tarkowski, or Ekitike? Which would you bench to Rodgers, Wilson, Tarkowski, Ekitike? Rodgers. Yuck. Maybe Rodgers and Ekitike. Adam, you're swaying me to Welbeck. Good. Oh, no, not good. Welbeck's one. I don't need to sway you. I'm not convinced. Fpl _07 start 3. Gabriel, Senesi, Mukiele, Cash, Richards. Gabriel, Mukiele, Cash. Jaakko Nieminen. Yeah, I'd play Wilson and Tarko. Are you Finnish? It's a great name. Omar, I can do it in Mbumo to Palmer, but I don't trust Palmer. Why not keep Mbumo this week and maybe sell him in 33? Fine. That's fine to do. Absolutely fine, Omar. No issues with that.
Garner to Anderson done. Wilson to Diego Gomez done. I've sold you on Welbeck. Sounds like you've sold me on Welbeck, mate. Paul, got to run, guys. Family, bruh. Good luck, all. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, bro. Have a good week this week. Could you show an ideal free hit 34 team, Tom? I can do that next deadline stream, mate. I think we got plenty of people to get through on this one for now. Unless it makes a big difference to your strategy, but I like honestly, I don't think it's not going to be obvious at this stage in time. Yeah, anyway, I'll do one in. I'll put a video out probably midweek for it. Gone for Bogle though, no stress, and I really want Gabriel to be honest. Okay, one more time, we're just going to run through this. Why not Gabriel? In fact, we're going to run through two things. Firstly, Dahl over Bruggen. Last time I'm going to run through this. Dahl over Bruggen, I promise. Leeds play Chelsea, FA Cup semi-final. Leeds win. FA Cup final is in game week 37. That match that they have, Leeds v Brighton, either goes into midweek in 37 or forwards into game week 36. Edwin, you're the only one on the team IDQ, mate. I will get you, but I want to do all the wildcard teams first because it's a wildcard week. I need to get through them. Best 4.4 million, 6.1 mil. Probably Diego Gomez. So Leeds win. Their game with Brighton either goes forwards into a double game week in 36 or into midweek in game week 37. I think it's 50-50% chance either way. Maybe 40-50% that it goes to 36 and 50-60% that it stays midweek in 37. That's what happened last week. It went to 37. Chelsea win against Leeds. So Leeds win. Leeds either double in 36 and blank in 37, or it's just 1 and 1. Brighton would also double in 36 and blank in 37 if that was the case. If Chelsea win, Chelsea double in 36 and blank in 37. If you have both Verbruggen and Darlow and it moves to 36, you're going to have 2 double game week goalkeepers in 36 and 2 blank goalkeepers in 37. You're going to have to make a transfer in 37. This may not happen, but given that you've got the flexibility on the wild card to do something different and plan for this and not lose this transfer, I would have Sanchez over Darlow. The reason I'd have him over Darlow is because Verbruggen has Burnley this week, and you wouldn't want to have Darlow or Sanchez in goal when you don't have to in game week 32. Yeah, and then if you do go that, then obviously, like, if Chelsea win, you get the double game weeker in 36, and you still get a goalkeeper in 37 in Verbruggen who's going to play because Leeds have lost, so they're going to be playing that in 37. If Leeds win, then you have Verbruggen, and then the Chelsea goalie, Sanchez, you're going to have a game in 37. So either way, you're going to get somebody playing in 37. Obviously, if these fixtures all move midweek in 37, this is irrelevant, and you could have just gone the other way. But you've got that flexibility now on the wild card, so I think you should do it. So that's why I think Verbruggen Sanchez is optimal. Pure quality, Adam. This is why I'm here. Darlow Sanchez done. Legend. Thank you. Yeah, if you want me to check your teams out, yeah. Comment on my post on Twitter. That's great. Thank you. I'll check it out. Thunder. Yeah, no worries, Thunder. I'll look at that. Omar, I can't get him. I have 3 Brighton players already. Tavernier, someone from Bournemouth. Then Tavernier probably is who I'd have in there. Omar. You have me sold on Sanchez, Nish. A legend, thank you. Oh, like honestly, otherwise I wouldn't be going for it. I'd probably, I'd maybe do Darlow Verbruggen as well. But that just makes a lot of sense to me. Okay. And then, what was your second one? No Gabriel. Yeah, so no Gabriel one is a little bit more difficult. And I think, it's not as clear cut to explain, but I don't think it's difficult. I'll do my best. All right, no Gabriel. Game week 32. Arsenal play Bournemouth. Fine. Gabriel, probably fine to have in your team here. Like, relevant. I'd maybe have Gabriel over mine. I would have Gabriel in over my defenders. Game week 33. Arsenal single game week against Manchester City. All these double game weekers. Not going to want Gabriel. Game week 34, I'm on free hit anyway. If I want Gabriel, I'll have him in. Game week 35, given that I've bench boosted 15 players, like this is probably roughly going to be my team. I'd say I've brought Bruno Fernandes in, whatever. I've got Striking Justin v Burnley. I'm not going to move them out of my team for Gabriel, regardless of he's playing Fulham as well, who in good form. Harry Wilson, absolute legend. Not going to move them out. O'Reilly, arguably, you'd have in your team over Gabriel at the moment, considering he's been playing like left wing for Man City. Arguably. But much of a much. Like, you're not going to make that sub. Senesi and Hill, both DEFCON against Crystal Palace on the beach. In 35 as well, where Crystal Palace in game week 35, either side of a... if you see here, either side of what will be a Conference League semi-final, they're 3-0 up against Fiorentina in the first leg. Potentially resting players, pretty much on the beach. I think that's a fantastic fixture. I think that's a really great fixture for both... shit, where's my thing gone? I think that's a great fixture for both Hill and Senesi. So, probably not going to move either of them either. I'm playing 5 defenders for a reason in this week. They're all, in my opinion, great value. So, 35, I would say not required to have Gabriel. Could do. I still have a free transfer. 36. Okay. Gabriel versus West Ham. Probably would want him in your team here. But also, Man City are going to have double game week. So you're going to have 3 double game weekers. Here I'm bringing in Munoz at the back as well. Palace potentially have a double game week. And then your decision is, okay, maybe I want to bring in Gabriel here for Senesi. You can do that. Make that transfer. Make that transfer in 36. You're going to have a spare transfer in there. You got 3 of these. You got Welbeck v Wolves. You got Gomez v Wolves. You got Verbruggen v Wolves. Like, that's a fantastic fixture in game week 36. You're not going to want any of these guys out of your team for a Gabriel that you had in 32 in place of a Brighton player. I don't think so. You're not going to want the Leeds guys out of your team at the back in 35 for a Brighton player. For an Arsenal player. So, in my opinion, Gabriel's not required really in 35 or in 36 in place of those players. If you would have him in 32, if you want to bring him in, you can bring him in 36 for a Bournemouth player like a Senesi or a Hill. This is the time where I think, fine, use transfer to bring in Gabriel if you've got that budget. And then, realistically, I've got to say, at this stage, say Arsenal beat Man City, mate, Arsenal could be rotating their team come game week 37. So then you're looking at it in game week 36, you can make an educated choice to bring Gabriel in, or Arsenal wrap up the title, they rest players in game week 37. He probably then plays again in game week 38 to celebrate the title, and then Champions League final, if they make it that far. But you can make that decision in game week 36 because you've got all the facts. And realistically, you're not going to be playing him in 35, 34, or 33. You're comfortable with your teams in all of those fixtures. Okay, you might have him in your free hit in 34. But 33 and 35, you're comfortable with your defence. 36 is where you're going to make that decision, and I think you bring him in there. Sold again. Let's go. 2 for 2, baby. 2 for 2. All right. That was my view on Gabriel. And I don't think people have properly analysed that. I've seen some shit on YouTube. I don't know. Well, I stopped scrolling after I started seeing some of this rubbish. All right. Omar, I can't have 3 Bournemouth players already. Thoughts bringing JP. Who you mean? Ampadu maybe then? You have to go Ampadu or Aronson in the midfield for Leeds. You have 3 Bournemouth players already. It's because you went Petrovic in goal. So maybe you just take Petrovic out. You go Sanchez in goal, like I said to TMT Omara, and then you have an extra Bournemouth, and you can go Tavernier in the midfield. Semenyo or Mbumo this week? Ignore wider picture. This game week alone. I think Semenyo's in sweet as form, mate. Ignore wider pictures. I've really liked Semenyo for a while as a pick. I'd struggled to go aside from him, but I do think Mbumo's definitely up there with him, like just underneath. But I would go Semenyo. Yeah, excluding future picture, I would go Semenyo. Really good points there. I think I can remove Gabriel my wildcard. Would love your thoughts. Yes, mate. I am Thunder. I will be going to you. How long have we got here? We got plenty of time to the deadline. I'm going to get through everybody. Don't worry about it. Just give me a little bit of time because obviously got to talk through with a lot of different people some of their stuff. I'll have a look now at who's sent me some wildcard teams. Omar, hopefully I've got that for you. I think Petrovic out to Sanchez allows you Tavernier in the midfield. Hopefully that sorts your problems. You don't see Sanchez keeping a clean sheet. Yeah, but I mean, in the double game week, he's got a double game week, right? So at least you got a double game week defence there. Otherwise, how do you get someone in the midfield? Otherwise, you'd have to go like Ampadu and Aronson in the midfield. You could do that. You could do Ampadu and Aronson in the midfield, like double Leeds midfield. So I'm just trying to think of some solutions for you to get the 15 double game weeks in, because I think that's important. Nish, are you still here in the chat? I think it's you and then Thunder, the two teams to go through. Are you punching JP for Ampadu? Really, mate?
Me? Oh. Is this my team? No. Ignore this. Ignore that. This is my actual... That was just like my plan FPL. I haven't put the actual team. So I go B Joel. This would be my... Yeah, I'm thinking JP. I don't know. I think JP over like maybe Hill. Like, I could do that. That's my actual team at the moment. Sorry, the plan FPL, I haven't like organised the bench and the starters all the time. I'm just sort of faffing around with it. As a United fan, I can't agree. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have done that. I got them on the bench. Nish, you're here. Okay, mate, let me get your team. Here's your team. So Nish, like we obviously talked about the Darlow Verbruggen issue. I would suggest Verbruggen Sanchez. If you didn't hear why, just rewind like 5 minutes of this stream. Benching, I think Bijal's out. Yeah, Bijal's out this week, but he'll be back for 33, and Rodon's out for the whole of May, which means Bijal's going to have to start CB. Oh no, Bijal could be available this week. Sorry, from what Farke said, like he's still working to be fit. But yeah, I was between Bijal and Justin. I just made that transfer just now. If you don't have that mindset that I have, Bijal's there for the DEFCON and like goal threat of corners, then maybe you go Justin. But I've gone with him because Rodon's out till the end of May, so they don't have any other centre backs other than Struck and Bijal. I think Justin might end up playing CB, which is crazy. No worries, TMT, mate. Great to see you. Thanks for joining and subscribing to membership. Really appreciate you, man. Fucking good luck this game week. Omara later. Good luck. Thank you, bro. Hope that helped. Right, who we got here? Oh, sorry, Ben Meakin. Afternoon, mate. Who is best goalkeeper to bring in for 32 and 34 only? Fuck knows, mate.
Martinez. Aston Villa. Martinez. Tottenham. No, actually, you don't know who's going to start for Tottenham, so they're bringing Kinski or Vicario. Mohamed Ashvili, Liverpool. Ashley Wild, cheap one. Alisson's out. Yeah, you never know. Alisson might come back. Yeah, probably be Martinez at Villa. Nish. Let's go with you. Yeah, so the Darlow Verbruggen, I would go Sanchez Verbruggen just for that 36-37 stuff. Have a rewind 5 minutes if you want to know why, but I definitely recommend. That sort of is fine for your team because you have Palmer and Vidal Pedro. You don't have 3 Chelsea. And then Bowen, I don't mind. Yeah, the rest of your team I like, Nish. I'm assuming Bowen becomes a Welbeck or a Dominic Calvert-Lewin in 33. And I think Gross should be Diego Gomez for sure. I really don't like Pascal Gross. I just think he's a guaranteed 4-pointer waiting to happen. I would literally pick any single game weeker or Diego Gomez over him. It just wouldn't be in my consideration. Yeah, thank you, Rob. Sanchez over Darlow when Leeds beat Chelsea and if they double again. Yeah, that's right. When Leeds go to Wembley, their game might get pushed forwards in 36, might. Yeah, so I think your only transfers there: Darlow to Sanchez, Gross to literally any other player on the planet. Diego Gomez, I'd go for, and then I think the rest of your team's fine. And yeah, Bowen out for take your pick on DCL or Welbeck in 33. But lovely, really nice team, mate. It's good from you. You've only got 2 free transfers though. Yeah, I've got 2 free transfers as well, which is why I would contemplate just leading with DCL. But I think you can get away with not doing it. I just think you'll have one less doubler in 36 because of that. I need a goalkeeper for 34. I have Dubravka and Sanchez. Should I replace this week or wait till 34? Probably would just wait to 34. I don't think a goalkeeper transfer is that important at this stage, Ben. Generally, your goalies, like, it's a bit hit or miss. Like, anything could happen. Yeah, watch when Burnley beat Brighton 1-0 and everyone fucking loses their shit, including me, with Welbeck and Gomez. Yeah, I think you're fine. I think goalkeepers are much. Like, not much. You're not going to get many extra points. It's worth having them as the extra player in 34, but for now, I think I'd just leave as is and save that transfer. No worries, mate. Okay, Thunder. Nish, hopefully you heard all of that, mate. Just FYI. Please confirm you're happy with what I said. You can go Bowen to DCL early, like this week if you prefer. But I thought it's a nice little different. You definitely don't have Gabriel though. Nice little difference. I'm gonna make the Darlow and Grace transfer. Okay, cool. Yeah, nice little differential that you had. How do I get rid of the 0.2 million difference? I think I'm going to get Welbeck instead of João Pedro and sell Bowen off this game week for João Pedro. Okay. I don't know why yours is like zoomed in like crazy. For some reason, oh shit. Yeah, I don't know why it won't let me like see this properly. I feel like you've screenshotted from like your computer or something, which is fine. For everyone else's benefit, I can probably just. That's Semenyo and Gabriel. And for your benefit, get rid of Gabriel. Get rid of Gabriel. Go back like 10 minutes in the stream for why. In terms of the 0.2 mil, how do you deal with that? Here's an option for you. You can just go Scott for Tavernier in the Bournemouth midfield. He's one of those like DEFCON kind of midfielders, rather than like the upside's not massive, but the floor's pretty high. So I mean, you could probably expect 6 to 8 points from him in the double game week. I can move Gabriel, to be fair, solves every issue. Yeah, 100%. Just do that. Remove Gabriel, bring in like Pascal Struck or Jacob Bijol, switch Darlow to Sanchez, and then you can keep Tav, and I think the team's good. So Gabriel to strike, Pascal Strike of Leeds, and Darlow to Sanchez, and everything else is good. Sweet as, I think that works pretty well. I just don't think Gabriel's necessary. I mean, I went through it on the stream. You're probably listening, but if you weren't, just rewind like 10 minutes. I was talking to Teach Me Tips. Diego Gomez looks so good, by the way. Yeah, 100%, bro. Like, I thought it was just a no-brainer to me. Like, obviously, it's the 9 yellow cards issue. Like, if he picks up a yellow against Burnley, Yeah, unreal. People picking like, what are they thinking? What are they like? I don't understand. It's just like bandwagon shit. Like people are not like don't have an original brain. Honestly, I actually wonder whether people actually do their own research or watch football or like look at anything. Like, sorry, I mean obviously some people do, but this is baffling for me. Baffling for me. This is going to be one of my all-time massive rants where I did a similar one about Dorgu and then he banged in a goal for United. This is going to be like one of those all-time rants that I've done, and then Pascal Gross scores 2. Honestly, if that happens, I might break something. I think I'd break something because it's a bad pick. I'm telling you, it's a bad pick. Pascal Gross is a bad pick. Yusuf Hassan, I just got Haaland, Thiago, Bowen. All right, we'll get rid of Thiago, and that's all right. You're the first one to mention Arsenal winning the Prem and Gabriel getting a rest, to be fair. Yeah, look, I only think it will be 37 he would be rested. Like, I think they'd want him to play in 38 because they want him to still be in rhythm for the Champions League. But I think if Arsenal, like, wrap up the Prem, like, you got a chance him getting rested in... I mean, if they beat City, there's a chance he gets rested in 35, to be honest, because that's going to be sandwiched in between their Champions League semi-final, assuming they beat Sporting. But 36, I think he plays, especially if the league's still going, which I think it probably will be until 37. 37, I think he could get a rest. 38, I think he plays. So, I mean, like, do you want him in that time? Like, everybody in their dog and their grandpa and their dog's dog and their cat's dog are going to have Gabriel. He's like 100 million % owned. It's quite nice to not have him have differential. You got me to mention insane all for a talk. That was possibly the worst week ever. No, I didn't make a bet with somebody that like Dorgu would be rated less than 8 and he like scored a goal. Kept a clean sheet. I was so sorry. The next week I came in with my tail between my legs and I was like, I was wrong. I apologise to Dorgu the GOAT. I don't think I'm going to have to make that same apology to Pascal Gross the GOAT. This is going to get clipped if I'm wrong. But I'd like to like make a decision and not sit on the fence on stuff, right? I think it's a bit shitty when people sit on the fence. I like to put my neck on the line. I think I watch enough football that it's good. What do you think of Anderson or Morgan Gibbs-White next game week instead of someone with a double game week? Look, mate, I think if you're bench boosting in a double game week, you've got to go for double game week players. Like just the appearance points alone, you get 4-pointer. Even if you're now, and also this is why I think actually DEFCON players in a double game week are massive. They pick up 2 lots of DEFCON and they're scoring 8 points. That's like scoring a goal in a 2-1 loss. Like it's like Bruno scoring for United. You're like, yeah, get in there. United lose 2-1. He ends up with 8 points as he gets 1 bonus because he's Bruno. He always gets bonus. Like you'd be pretty happy with that, and that's just like 2 DEFCON. So yeah, I wouldn't go for single game week players other than like really hard hitters in great form. Like I'd probably stick with like an Erling Haaland if he had a single game week. I'm sticking with Bruno most likely, unless there's someone who I think has a really high ceiling over those double game week. But I just think there's not that many. There's really not that many with a super high ceiling, and yeah, other than Semenyo, Cole Palmer. I mean, maybe Enzo, but I wouldn't want to go Palmer, Enzo, and João Pedro. Like, I just don't think anyone has a super high ceiling. Jonesy, my guy, how are you, bro? Dorgu this year, Semenyo last year. No. To be clear, well, I mean, yeah, you're right. So you're right. Yeah, as in calendar year, you're right. To be clear, Semenyo has improved as a footballer this year. His finishing last year was so shit, bro. Was so shit. The hype with Palmer, yeah, it's just a double game week, mate. It's just a double game week. It's just because Palmer, he's on penalties, and he's playing in the double game week. Like, there's just a massive ceiling for that. It's good to see you, Jonesy, mate. We've missed you on these chats. You're so active all the time. We got a few guys to compete with you for activity on the chats nowadays, mate. But it's nice to have you back here. Thunder Fez, I love the expression on picks. It makes sense. Unlike the Twitter rant about Strike, Ampadu, BJL being bad picks. Made the Strike transfer. Good luck on your game week. Thanks, mate. I don't think any of them are bad picks, to be honest. I think they're all pretty good picks. Yeah, good luck on your game week as well, mate. No, last year who was I giving shit to? Like last. Oh no, last year it's just Jared Bowen just kept screwing me because I kept making bets with people on the stream about Jared Bowen not scoring and then he scored again. Bloody Rico. Where is Rico? Oh, Rico! Speak of Rico, here he is. Yo, who should I pick out of Kukurea and Gabriel? Are you on wildcard, Rico? Please don't pick Gabriel. I've just been through a whole rant about how you need to not pick him. I've gone for both Verbruggen and Petrovic for a different strategy. Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind that. To be fair, do I sell João Pedro for Welbeck this week? Are you on wildcard, Thunder? No, I don't sell it. Oh, this week. Yeah. That's actually nice. Yeah, I would do that. And then Bowen to João Pedro next week. Yeah, sorry, I'm literally looking at your team. I don't know why I'm saying, are you on wildcard? This was your team. Yeah, I would do that. I think I hadn't thought about that, to be honest. I was not thinking about game week 32, but that's very smart. I would sell João Pedro for Welbeck this week, yeah. And then bring in JP next week. Any reason you've gone for Gomez over Gross? Every reason, mate. Like, why would you go for Gross? What's he done? Diego Gomez, 5 goals, 1 assist this year, plays like actually further forwards, actually like attacking. Gross, not on penalties, mate. Not on penalties. Danny Welbeck is on penalties for Brighton. I don't know if people picking Gross because they still think he's on penalties for Brighton. He's not. Gomez 1 yellow away from suspension, yeah, but only in game week 32. He just has to avoid the yellow in 32. If he avoids it, if he gets yellow carded this week, yeah, we're all fucked. Excuse my French. He misses both games in game week 33. It's a 2-game suspension for him. But as soon as this game week finishes, if he gets a yellow in the first game in 33, it doesn't matter. It expires after that. Mate, at this point, you got to have a recording of no Gabriel playing constantly. Yeah, no Gabriel, Verbruggen and Sanchez in goal. Just loop it in. It's because so many people are recommending to do this, and I've seen, like, I'm on Twitter, which is annoying because I don't like being on Twitter generally because there's just a cesspit of people. Apologies, like not everybody, but just like there's obviously a lot of crap that's posted on social media because people click stuff that's like rage baity, and I do it as well, so it just makes it worse for the stuff that gets posted on there. Everyone just engagement farming. Anyway, I understand people trying to make money. God, I'm ranting a bit today. I don't know what I was talking about, so I'm just going to shut up and talk about football. I'm just going to shut up. Let's read the comments. Does mean one of Van Heck or Gomez or Verbruggen has to go. Oh, yeah, shit. So you're going Bowen DCL next week, Thunder? Yeah, I just missed that. I missed that a little bit. Am I still in Australia? I'm actually in the UK at the moment, mate. Yeah, I'm playing cricket for Cyprus in the World Cup T20 World Cup qualifiers in May. So I'm out here. I was touring with Cyprus earlier this month against Austria. And yeah, we got the World Cup qualifiers, mate. T20 World Cup qualifiers. You can check me out on Crick Info. They're actually on TV. Actually, our games we got Finland in May, early May, before the World Cup. They'll be on ICC TV as well. You can watch live my games. Yeah, sorry, Thunder, mate. Yeah, it'd probably be Van Heck for me. It'd mean Van Heck had to go to probably another Leeds defender, probably a B-Joel. Then you're getting like dangerously close to me making your team just look like my team, which is this. I don't want to do that. I want you to have your own freedom. I mean, your other option is you go DCL for Bowen next week in the double. Or you just, and I don't love it, you go to 13 double game week players, and next week you just pick like, I don't know, man, like something crazy. Something crazy. Ollie Watkins v Sunderland or something like, I don't know. Something that you never know, like could pay off mental, or it could be an absolute shambles. Not sure I recommend that though. Why Gomez over Gross? Mate, rewind. Rewind. We need a loot. It's just like, what does Pascal Gross do, mate? He does nothing. That was where I was at with my rant. I forgot. He doesn't do anything, mate. He's not on penalties. I mean, yeah, he takes some set pieces, sure. Come on, bro. It's fine. I think Welbeck is blanking this week. Yeah, so you're just going to keep João Pedro? Oh, and then you just go DCL next week then? DCL for Bowen. I think that makes sense. Thunder. Is my thing paused again? My YouTube chat is paused again, eh? So annoying. Does this sometimes. I don't understand why it does this. I kind of forgot what the sizing is. That looks right. Yeah, DCL's been clutch for me this season. Every time I buy him, he does great. Every time I sell him, he blanks 5 game weeks in a row. I mean, can you tell me what he's going to do? Because every time I buy him, he blanks, and every time I sell him, he scores. So you can't come on my streams all the time, mate. You can help me out. What about Minte? Yeah, I don't mind Minte as a pick. I think probably similar to Gomez. I just prefer Gomez, honestly. I don't mind Minte as a pick. Thanks, Jonesy, about the cricket, mate. Appreciate that. If I had to drop lots of weight quickly, would you suggest diet or exercise? It's honestly, I know this is going to be annoying to hear, but it's definitely a combination of both. You won't be able to do it with exercise alone, because I just don't think, like, as a normal human, right? Like, you just don't have the willpower to be able to do that. I mean, you might be incredibly determined. Well, I think it's definitely it's a combination of both. From my experience anyway, especially in professional sport, like they always say, a diet is very important. So, yeah, for sure, combination of both. Sorry, I know that's probably not helpful whatsoever, but it is true. Rico, Verbruggen, Darlow, O'Reilly, Kikero, Van Heck, Hill, Senesi, Bruno, Semenyo, Gomez, Ampady, DCL, Haaland, JP. What do you think? Good. Like it. What I say about Verbruggen, Darlow is I'd change one to... do you have Palmer in there? Just Darlow to Sanchez. Again, rewind. Rewind the stream to when I was talking Teach Me Tips about why Verbruggen and Sanchez is the best combo. No Palmer. That's me for that rat, João Pedro. I didn't have him for his crazy hauls. Oh, yeah, I had JP for a few. Yeah, I've had Bruno for the good. That's how I ended up 14k. Like, my rank at the moment, I'm flying this year. 14k in the world. I had a bad game week last week, though. Bruno's captain, but basically no one else did anything. I didn't have anybody useful. Yeah, I think I just made... I can't remember what my transfer was now. Haaland for João Pedro. Is that what I did? I literally don't even remember last week. It feels so long away. Just had to change my team name from DCL to Glory to Leeds to Glory. Oh, where is everybody, out of interest? I'll have a look at one of my mini leagues and see where you guys all are. Edwin, shit, bro. Edwin, are you here? Sorry, I know you sent me your team ID. Can we do it? I actually have your team up. Just in case you're still here, I'm just going to talk through it. Who's 1.9k? Edwin, my guy. Edwin, I'm so sorry I took so long to get to you. But I've got through all the wildcard teams now. Quex! Oh my god, I forgot yours. Wait, why can't I see yours, Quex? It's not on my thing. Did you post it in reply to my... I'll do Edwin now anyway, because I've got him up, but... Did you post it in reply to my comment? I just haven't seen it on there. What's your Twitter handle? Or did you just, send me a message somewhere? Because I've only been looking on the post. Oh, you sent me a DM. That's why I didn't see it. Sorry, man. Do you mind just replying to the post just so I can pull it up easy? Quex, and I'll just do you next if that's all right. Oh, you did reply on the latest post. Well, I see you DM'd me because I have you on, but I don't see the reply on the post. It's okay. I can pull your DM up as well. It's fine. I just prefer not to do it because it's a bit funky with how it shows it. But that's fine. If you can reply on the post, please do. If you can't, then I'll just do Edwin. What was your comment? Could you have a look at my mini league by any chance? I need to win that. Yeah. I can pull up the mini league as well. 50 Shades of Andy Gray. Lovely. Why is this looking like? Why is this like weirdly positioned? What the fuck? So random. Wait, I've literally never had this problem before. That's so weird. Anyway. It's what it is. Let me just fix that. That's so random. Well, I always have my screen setups like perfect, and now it's like it's gone a bit funky. Can I do that? What the hell? So weird. Oh, sorry, I know you guys are probably not seeing the same thing. No, showing your whole team now. Anyway. Yeah, so looking at your so your mini league guys, Kasperi Kohi, he's 8 points ahead of you. He's used his triple captain. You've used your bench boost, and then the guy who's top, he's used his triple captain as well. Okay, so you're going to have really different strategies to these guys because they're all going to be wildcard 32, bench boost 33. So I'm assuming you're not wildcarding, Edwin, and you're going to free hit 33. And then you wildcard in 35? Or even 30. Oh, you haven't played your triple captain. Yeah, you wildcard 35, triple captain 36. That's probably what would be my advice, given that you've used the bench boost. Could potentially even wildcard in 34. I haven't really looked at a 34 team yet, so I'm not sure. But alright, so you need to survive the week. Alright, so you just want to have, like, given that you're going to free hit in 33 and then wildcard in 35-ish, you want to be making sure that your teams for 32 and 34 can be okay. Alright, that's it. So let's have a look, and then I'll check. I'll keep their teams up, or I'll keep the guy in seconds up. Do you win only for first place, or you get money in second as well? Oh, Radon. Okay, so yeah, Fulham v Liverpool. Anderson's a tough one. Taco v Brentford plays. So what you got here in 33? So here you miss it. Like in 34, you got Haaland blanking, Tav blanking, Rodon blanking. Fine. So Rodon's an easy transfer to make out this week, if you wanted to. That would make sense to me. Okay, second also gets decent money. This week they're all going to wildcard into like that massive 32 team. So you just need to try and avoid those players really. And try and do slightly better than those players, I guess. So you go Rodon out. Do you want defensive or offensive? I think offensive is where you get the most to gain, though, at the moment. But I guess you've got Gordon, you've got Wilson. It's a shame you've got Tav, actually, in your team. That was probably me that told you to get him as well. Yeah. Well, you're going to be playing Wilson v Virgil, probably. You're going to play Gabriel. You're going to play Tarko. And then you got to play one of Virgil or Anderson, or you move Rodon out for somebody, fine. Then midfield, you're going to play Bruno, you're going to play Wilson, you're going to play Gordon. You're going to play Haaland, you're going to play Ekatike, and you got Thiago v Tarko's tough. Tav I would be benching. Anderson, I'd probably be benching. I know Liverpool is shit, but you got Ekatike. Yeah, Rodon, and then you're going to be playing Thiago versus Tarko. I mean, that's probably fine. So where's the upside that you can bring in here? Probably for one of those guys that you've benched. I mean, realistically, you can move Tav out because he's kind of pointless for you anyway. If you're free hitting in 33, you're going to want someone in 34 that's not blanking. So if you move Tav out, you go maybe Villa. Villa have Forest and Fulham over those 2 weeks. Man United have Leeds and United would be nice. United have Leeds and Brentford. Spurs have Sunderland and Wolves. So who would come out for a Tav replacement? Yeah, all right. Let's. That's a good question. One that I needed my spreadsheet to review. And you got 5.7. Who comes out at 5.7? Probably Casemiro. How crazy is that as a pick? Jeez. Yeah, it's not nice. Well, you've also got I don't know if Somerville's going to be fit this week for West Ham, but he would have been nice at 5.6. Thomas Souček. It's a bit rogue, isn't it? There's no one else really around that size. Casemiro. Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall's quite nice. Actually, Dewsbury Hall's quite nice. Everton have got Brentford and West Ham, 32-34. How much is Ndiaye? 6 points, he's a bit too exy. I actually quite like Dewsbury Hall. And Everton's fixtures are pretty good as well. I know they got Man City in 35, which is a tough one, but after that they got Palace, Sunderland, Tottenham, 36, 37, 38. I'd probably go Dewsbury Hall, mate. He picks up bonus as well. I know his DEFCON's not amazing, like Garner. You could go Garner, but... Yeah, who do you bench if you get KDH? Yeah, I know. I know you're right. I know what you're saying. I'm just sort of... Yeah. I mean, you bench Anderson. You'd bench Anderson, Rodon. Oh yeah, you're fucked because you'd have 5. You bench the 2 Andersons probably. Yeah, it's probably not worth it, mate. I think you just have to roll. I think you have to roll and try and... No, what's the point in rolling? You'd then have 2 transfers in 34 that you'd have to make both of. Because you're going to be wildcarding 35. Triple captain in 36. And then your wildcard would have set you up anyway. Well, I guess you can have those transfers in 37 to move out. Yeah, I guess what you can do, right? If you wildcard 35 and you have 3 City, 3 Palace, then you're going to have to move those guys out in 37. So if you roll in 32 and 34, you have 3 free transfers. You move out all the Palace guys in 37 again. Actually, it's not that bad an idea. So save them for there. Captain Bruno this week, but I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah. So I think that's probably where you go. You wildcard 35, 3 City, 3 Palace, triple captain Haaland, and then take out all your 3 Palace and 37 because you would have had 2. Yeah, you'd have the freeze by then. So you get 2 free transfers, 3 free transfers, 4 free transfers, which is probably good because someone else might have some injury issues or something by 37. Yeah, or if you need to use them, you can use them in 34. So I think you roll. But if they got hope for a disaster wildcard for the top 2, can't support that, mate, because everyone's probably got a similar wildcard to me. Yeah, right. Let me have a look at some teams. Sorry, let me just do Quex quickly. Quex, you're here, yeah? I know you sent me in chat your team. Sorry, I'm just looking at Quex's. Quex, your team. Sorry, man. What is going on? Yeah, this is why I don't like it on DMs because it comes up on the screen real weird. But anyway, so be it, as this is how it happened. Quex, I mean, same comment really, that Darlow Sanchez, like Verbruggen Sanchez, rather than Verbruggen Darlow, but I mean that means you then end up going Van Heck to Pascal Struijk. But I think you could easily go with the team that you've got, and it's not a problem. So I don't have an issue with your wildcard personally. I just think like you got 50%, 40% chance maybe of having a goalkeeper issue in game week 37, as I've spoken about quite a few times. Don't know why the chat keeps like dying in here. Let me fix it. Oh, it's weird that's doing that. Oh, every so often it just dies. Yeah, so I think your team's good, Quacks, to be honest. I don't have too many issues with it. How long we got to deadline? 1 hour. Okay, I think I've got some more comments with team IDs as well. I'm just looking back through. Sorry, guys. Adam Bailey, cheers for the advice, mate. Would you consider Enzo and benching over Ampadu? I would definitely consider that. Yeah, it's a completely reasonable consideration. It's just having the 3 Chelsea
Having like my 3 Chelsea would be Sanchez, Palmer, and JP. But if you go elsewhere from one of them, then yeah, Enzo's completely reasonable. To bench. Abhishek. Is double game week for City confirmed in game week 36? Yes. I mean, if they beat who they got, Southampton in semi-final FA Cup, absolutely guaranteed, because they have to find a way to play that Palace fixture and the Bournemouth fixture, and Palace are pretty much now through to the next round of the Conference League, so it's not going to be midweek 34 or 35. So I would be comfortable to say to you right now, yes, they're going to double in 36. Abhishek. It's pretty much, I would say, 99% certain. I want to take out Tav for another doubler. Scott. Scott Aronson. Scott at Bournemouth, Aronson Leeds. Enzo, like this guy said, Thunder said. I don't like having 3 Chelsea attackers though. Just FYI. Abhishek, let me put your team ID up. Abhishek, team ID. Oh, that's annoying. I wanted to see something else. Oh, great game week, man. 81. Who did you have? You had Gordon and B. Hey, Jakob. Jakob the man. So, what, are you not wildcarding, Jakob? Abhishek? I'd just be wildcarding, mate. I think it's a no-brainer for me. I think wildcard 32, bench boost, and you got triple captain as well. Wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, triple captain 36. Absolute no-brainer for you. Double game week in City for City in 36 is honestly 99%, mate. I'll show you as well. Look, let me show you the. If you don't believe me, just telling you, it is. Oh, for fuck's sake! Let me pull up the actual thing to prove it. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Let's just show this one. Oh my god, why is this the wrong screen? Why is it like this? I don't understand. Sorry, I'm just. I think it's because I used a new, like, I downloaded OBS, the new OBS. I don't know if any of you guys do streams or anything, but I downloaded like the new OBS, and now it's just like wigging out. It's like completely wigging out. I don't know why it's like that. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Why are you being like this, OBS? You should be a normal human being. Whatever, I'll make it work. Here, this will do. Yeah, so look, basically, City have to play. Oh my god, my whole laptop's wigging out. It's not clicking on the button I'm clicking on. City have to play, if they win FA Cup, the FA Cup finals. Oh my god. FA Cup final is going to be in 37, which means that Bournemouth game has to get moved. So if they win against Southampton, which will be in game week 34, they have to play Palace still from the EFL Cup rearrangement, and they have to play Bournemouth, so they'll definitely have a 36. Realistically, I think that either way, even if they lose to Southampton, the Palace game probably goes into 36, because Palace go... Well, I don't know, because Palace are going to have this week, like, they're going to have the... I wish my fucking mouse would click the right button. Palace are going to have that week. They're going to be there. So, they're already 3-0 against Fiorentina. So you'd think that if they go through that semi-final, they probably want to play midweek 36, give themselves a bit more break, because the Conference League final is here after 38, rather than play 37 midweek 37, 38 midweek 38. So, I mean, depends where that Palace game goes, really, but I would guess that it would go in midweek 36. But either way, City will double in either 36 or 37. So you'll have a game week to use triple captain on Haaland, basically. So, yeah. Contemplating the Bowen move, might as well save a transfer of 35, 36. Yeah, I think that's why I've gone with the team that I've gone with, basically. Is because I wanted to save the transfer. Sort of don't mind going with Bowen this week, though. Got to be honest, he always gets points. Has anyone else replied on their wildcard team? Adam, Nish, Isaac, Paul. Who's Sergeant Rock 68? Are you on stream, mate? Rob, Dylan. Yeah.
I've got through everybody.
Alright, cool. So I made it through all the wildcard teams. I made it through the team IDs now.
Hey, we're good. Thoughts of Sarr? Looked really good for Palace yesterday against Fiorentina.
But I'd be avoiding Palace players at the moment in the league. Please rank Gabriel, Virgil, Mukiele, Munoz, Theo. Well, Gabriel number 1. Just for this game week, or what are we talking? Like going forwards, or just for this game week? So that does make a big difference. Jackie Peter Walker, not using the wild card this week, going to free hit next week. Bench boost is not worth being left with a bunch of Leeds and Brighton players and using multiple transfers to get back to Arsenal players.
Just don't get back to Arsenal players, mate. I disagree completely.
If you look at the fixtures for the rest of the season, I'm going to free hit in 34. I might have some Arsenal players. 35, my defence looks pretty solid. I don't really like much of the Arsenal attack. I'm not really that interested in having them for 4 game weeks. Going to get rotated for sure. The midfield more than the forward line. Yeah, probably just not going to bring them back in. Timber's out. I mean, most people probably have Timber. If you have Raya, then maybe you're alright. Timber injury, he's going to get rotated more. They got to play Sporting. Raya, Gabriel, Saliba, you're probably fine with those 3. Yeah. Depends. My next comment depends on if you're an Arsenal fan or not. So let me know that before I comment further. But yeah, I mean, I'd wildcard now. I just wouldn't bring the Arsenal guys back in. I'd maybe bring Gabriel in 35 or 36. I was talking about that earlier on stream. Why not to have Gabriel in your wildcard team? Because you can just bring him in 35, 36. But I mean, realistically, everyone, their son, their man, their dog, their dog's cat, and their grandma and grand aunt have all got Gabriel in their FPL team. Sheriff Al Hakim, sorry mate. I was listening to you. This game, Mukiele or Munoz?
Palace v Newcastle. Munoz played 90 minutes v Fiorentina. Newcastle not great going forwards.
or Mukiele, Sunderland, Tottenham, who are just absolute wank. Yeah, I'd go Mukiele. Reluctantly, because I love Munoz, but reluctantly. Thanks for your help this stream and insights. No worries, Tom, man. It'd be great to have you join again next week, be in the streams. Hopefully I'll put out some good content in the week this week. I've got a little bit more time now because I don't have any cricket tours or matches, and I'm back in England, so it's a little bit easier for me to just put out the videos midweek. So I'll try and get something in next week for a free hit 34 team or something like that. Locked in my free hit for free transfer, I think. Been tinkering, bringing in Raya, Bowen and O'Reilly, leaving me with Raya, O'Reilly, VVD, Gabriel, Bruno and Bumo, Rogers, Wilson, Haaland, Bowen, Thiago. Because Tommy, you were not on wildcard. That is right, isn't it? Yes. You're free hitting next week. Going to free hit 33 for the doublers. Want to keep him Bumo 34, hence not bringing in so many this week. Fine, mate. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that makes a lot of sense. Good luck this week. I think that's a nice team, and I think you'll probably go well with that. Because you don't have bench boost, so, I mean, yeah, very sensible. Bruno, Gordon, Semenyo, Rogers, Wilson, is it okay? If you're not on wildcard, yes. That's a great midfield. I mean, Rogers is an absolute scam artist, but otherwise it's a great midfield. I'd potentially go Munoz over Rogers. Just because I think he's a scammer. Also played against Bologna. Aston Villa notoriously come out shit. Excuse my French. Midweek after European games. So yeah, Rodgers be on the bench for me. But I mean, Munoz has the same problem for Palace. But I mean, Malik Thior is going to keep clean sheet against Palace probably this week, I'd say. Perfect West Ham Wolves game is in a few hours, so I can spend the whole day sulking. Because you went Bowen or didn't go Bowen? Well, Bowen is a nasty man to me. I expect him to score when I don't have him in my team. Nasty, nasty man. Lost me about 20 quid last year to Rico on stream bet. So we doing? Does anyone want to do? Actually, tell you what. No, maybe we'll do that in the last 30 minutes. We'll do like membership giveaways today as well. So I'll donate 5 memberships to some people that were on the stream today. At some point. I might wait till the last 5 or 10. Maybe like wait the last half hour before I do that. Kickoff's not here this week, so I almost feel like we should do a giveaway, but you're going to stick with Bowen, okay? That means he's not going to score. Whenever you support Jared Bowen, he screws you over. Anyone want to make a bet this week on stream? Jared Bowen to score, Nish. £10. You become a member for the rest of the season, or I'll give you $10. Jared Bowen to score. This is a good result for you. And you joined the flipping WhatsApp chat, mate. Are you in there? I don't think you're in there. You got to become an elite member for the rest of the season. So then you join the WhatsApp chat. Oh, are you in there? No, you're not in there. We need you in there, mate. You're a good valley. Timer. Oh, was I doing your team, Abhishek? Far out. Sorry, bro. I just forget about stuff sometimes. Thank you for reminding me. You just tell me sometimes. I'm just a dumb guy. Yeah. So, mate. Sorry. Yeah, wildcard. 100%. 100% wildcard. Yeah, I know you keep forgetting about the WhatsApp. Come on then, deal. Alright, it's actually a deal. Alright, Bowen to score. If Bowen scores, I owe Nish $10. If Bowen doesn't score, Nish becomes an elite member for the rest of the season and sends me the bloody WhatsApp number to join. Signed, sealed. Yeah, Abhishek, I think you should wildcard, mate. I think you should definitely wildcard. Look, I mean, honestly, this channel, if we have a shit like 3 weeks, everyone's going to fail together. For a good 3 weeks, everyone's going to succeed together, because I think most people have probably followed my advice. Suggestions? Here is my wildcard team suggestion. This is literally what I think you should wildcard into. Tom Pete, can't wait to drop my bench boost game week 36 and get a whopping 7 points. Way the cookie crumbled this year with chips is what it is. Well, maybe just don't drop it in the double game week. There's no point dropping it particularly in that double game week. I think 35 might be a better week for you to bench boost, Tom. You'll have to. I'd recommend having a look at plan.fpl. You can plan your team out for future weeks, and then you can just have a look at what your team is going to look like coming out in. You got a free hit. Yeah, well, I mean, what your team is going to look like coming out in 35. Rob Long, I'm here. Hey, yes, Rob. How are you, mate? You're Rob from Twitter. All right, let me pull up your team, bro. I am reading it. No worries. We're not all amazing with technology some of the time. I've had some dramas with the bloody technology on this stream today. And I'm bloody doing this. Not as a job, but as a hobby. Let me put your team up on the screen, mate. Okay. Why is my fucking YouTube chat so stupid sometimes? I just got to fix this one more time, and then I just got to fix this one more time, Rob, and I'll carry on talking to you about your team. Just bear with me. Yeah, I got through everyone else today, so I just want to make sure that I did yours as well, since you took the time to sort out the message. And just in the chat as well, Tom, also just bear in mind potentially wildcarding in 33. If you're going to free hit in 34, you could wildcard in 33 3 Man City players. Realistically, in 36, like, your team might be similar. It depends. If your team looks alright in 34, then yeah, I guess you can just wildcard in 35. So you could always wildcard 33, free hit 34, bench boost 35. Don't know. Could be. Anyway. Abhishek. Wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, triple captain 36 for your team, 100%. No other way to look at it. Rob, let me talk about your team. What's your full YouTube name? I've lost it now. Rob Long 8327, or as Twitter, Sergeant Rock. So looking at your team, mate, there's 2 things I'd say that I've said on this stream quite a few times. Well, actually 3 things on your team. These are the only things I recommend. I think it's a really good team otherwise. Verbruggen Darlow should be Verbruggen Sanchez. The reason for that, and you can keep it like this if you want, but there is like a 40-50% chance that in game week 36, if Leeds or Chelsea win their whoever wins that FA Cup semi-final, like the FA Cup finals in game week 37, and if you look at here, in 37, that fixture that they play will get moved to either midweek 37 or midweek 36. Last season it was moved to midweek 37, which means it will just be in game week 37. If it gets moved forwards to game week 36, then it's going to be a double game week in 36. So if you have Verbruggen and Darlow and Leeds beat Chelsea, both Verbruggen and Darlow are going to double in 36, and they're both going to blank in 37 because the Leeds played Brighton. So Yeah, so basically you come under this issue of you'll have both keepers doubling in 36 and both blanking in 37. You'll have to make a goalkeeper transfer in 37. So my advice is to go with Verbruggen and Sanchez, because whoever wins the FA Cup will double in 36, either Leeds, which will be your Verbruggen double, Wolves and Leeds, or Sanchez, which will be Liverpool-Tottenham double, and then the other person will be playing in game week 37 because they didn't make it to the final. So you're always going to have a goalkeeper playing in 37. You're not going to have to move them out. So that's why I recommend the Verbruggen Sanchez 2. I obviously prefer Verbruggen Sanchez to Darlow Sanchez just because this week Verbruggen has Burnley. It's a better fixture. So that's my number one thing in your team. Number 2 is Pascal Gross. It should just be Diego Gomez. Like, Gross is not on pens for Brighton. Welbeck's on pens. Yeah, he takes free kicks, but he doesn't really do anything. He's just going to get 2 points both weeks. Diego Gomez, I think, like, much higher ceiling. Scored like 5 goals this year. Like, plays attacking. Like, gets high forwards than Gross. More like higher ceiling, in my opinion. Much higher ceiling. Like, they might both get 4 points, but I think Gomez has a much higher ceiling than Gross. I think Gross is a bit of a waste. So immediately would get him out. Obviously, Diego Gomez is on 9 yellow cards, right? So if he picks up a yellow card in game week 32 against Burnley, he will be suspended for both matches in game week 33. He gets a 2-match suspension. But if he doesn't get a yellow card in this game week 32 against Burnley, which again, great fixture, he will be available for 33 both weeks, because if he gets a yellow card in the first game of game week 33, it doesn't matter. The suspensions expire after game week 32. So definitely be going Diego Gomez. And the third thing on your team is Gabriel just needs to go, mate. Just get rid of him. If you're going wildcard 32, bench boost 33, you want to have as many bench boosts as possible. That's the whole point of that tactic. If you're not doing that and going half and half, it's just not a beneficial wildcard. Not a beneficial wildcard, not a beneficial bench boost. You just don't need to do it. You'd have an entirely different team if you were just doing it. If you didn't care about having 15 bench boosters. So I think get rid of Gabriel. If you want to listen to why, rewind. Went through every week and sort of discussed why. Just rewind maybe like 45 minutes in this stream. I was talking Teach Me Tips, and I just explained why Gabriel just doesn't require to be in your team. What I do think is if you are going to have Gabriel, is someone that I would bring back into my team maybe in like game week 35, 36. That's fine. But I mean, look at once you plan your team out through game week 35 looks okay. 36 is where I'd bring him in for either Senesi or Hill. With 35, everyone has quite decent fixtures. So if I was to move Gabriel out of your team, I'd probably go for either James Justin at Leeds or Pascal Struijk. Sorry, not Pascal Struijk, you've got him. Or Jakob Bijol, who will not play in game week 32, Bijol, if you go for him. But he should, or might not play in 32, but he'll be back in 33, available for both games. And given that Rodon's out until May, which is what Farke's press conference is, yeah, I think Bijol's fine. But if you don't like that sort of slight uncertainty in Bijol, I would say, then maybe go James Justin. I think he's a little bit more secure. So those are my 3 changes. What they'd be, Rob? I'd go Darlow, Sanchez, Gabriel, Bijol or Justin, and Gross for Diego Gomez. Otherwise, I think your team's really nice. I think you've done a good job there, mate. So it looks good. Obviously, you don't have to take those recommendations, but just something to think about. I think the Darlow Sanchez one is, like, you should do it. It doesn't make a difference, and it just helps you in case that happens. But the Gross and Gabriel, if you want to go that way, I mean, that's fine. Yeah, so that's what I have to say about that. Tom, my wildcard sadly went a while ago. Sorry, yeah, Tom, I just keep forgetting, man. Like, there's so many people to keep a track of today. Your wildcard went. Oh, my apologies. Head loss comes out of Arsenal dropping points to Wolves, blaming the own goal. That's right. Sheriff El Hakim, do you think Ekatike will play? He's on the bench for Thiago and João. I mean, I'd play him over João Pedro this week. From this stream, feeling converted from the usual FPL Harry, etc., liking the rationale behind picks, etc., Gomez, no Gabriel, etc. Thanks, man. Like, I appreciate it. Honestly, like, I actually think, personally, like, I think FPL Harry is actually quite good. But I mean, sometimes I don't think these guys actually watch football. Like, no offense to them. Like, honestly, what I would say about content creators is really hard creating content all the time and constantly doing it. Like, it takes a lot of time to like produce videos and do that sort of stuff. So I give them a lot of credit for what they're able to do. In terms of footballing knowledge, tactical knowledge, and even statistical knowledge, I mean, the stats I do as a job, like I work in planning and forecasting at a bank, but like footballing knowledge, tactical knowledge, I just think like my channel has a lot of things that are very good. I will toot my own horn. But yeah, man, and I'm all about this sort of community, to be honest. So I'm here like chatting to you guys. I have also smaller fan base, so easier to spend a little bit more time explaining stuff to you guys and like helping you guys with your teams, which is like what I enjoy the most. And like now we have a good like membership group, bunch of members of the channel that have like their own WhatsApp stuff and like have access to all my data and stats and stuff and just comment daily and give me shit daily on football. So it's pretty fun. But yeah, I'm glad you've enjoyed, mate. Hope you can convert. Or at least watch both, man. Like, they're always useful with some stuff every now and again as well. Like, I'm not saying they're useless. It's good that they can get out the content all the time. Capsy, he's back. What's going on, man? How was your team, by the way? What were we saying about your team? Well, didn't you? I just said wildcard, no? The model sides I find super interesting. Yeah, the Tom, what was it, Dollymore or something? Yeah, I watched a few of those. I don't watch too much FPL content, to be honest, because I like to have my own opinion, and I think like I do the research to have my own opinion. Every now and again, I just look to just sort of see, you know, whether I feel like I'm on the right track. Sometimes I look and I'm like, these guys have lost their minds. What are they saying to people? Why are people listening to them? But they have 200k followers, so you know, I've got 3.5k. And sometimes I'm like, oh, that's an interesting idea. Maybe I should think about it. So, yeah. Rob, no worries, mate. Hope that was helpful for you. MeJack2038, what are your thoughts on Cucurella or Gusto? Look, I don't like either just because of the minutes. Like, I'll show you, like, I've got this, again, I did like a last 4 games analysis. And I'll show you quickly on the stream. I've got like last 4, next 4 for all of these players. I'll show you, for example, like Gusto on here. Played 3 of the last 4, 8 points over that time. Like, not fantastic. You look at go over to here and you look at Cucurella. Only started 2 of the last 4. So, are these guys going to start the double game week? Like, I'm not convinced they will. So yeah, just oh sorry, you can't see Gusto on the screen here. I'm zoomed in, that's why. Now I feel like I'm zoomed out too far. Alright, whatever, well, you know, you guys can see. Gusto at the bottom there. Started 3 out of 4. So yeah, I mean, like, these are some things that you've got to bear in mind as well. Yeah. So these are some more good stats actually for you, Tom. And this is all like, if you become a member of the channel, like I put these all on a Google Drive that everyone can see in the week. They can go through. I've got like the fixture schedules. I do my own fixture difficulty, attacking, defensive difficulties. I have like split by forwards. I mean, this one is a one I've done specifically for Wildcard, but I also have one that is a weekly one. This one. Where I have the data basically split by each price point for all of the players. Like forwards, you see each price point. Midfielders, you split by each price point, all of the data. It's all directly from the FPL API. So it pulls directly from Fantasy Premier League. So as soon as Fantasy Premier League updates, this automatically updates. I just save the file to the Google Drive daily. So I mean, you might have to wait a day for me to click save, but generally it's pretty updated. Yeah, and we have a WhatsApp chat as well. So I mean, feel free to just tune into the videos and live streams and stuff. Like, no need to take on membership. But if you are interested in all that other stuff, like I think like pretty good. And my membership is like 50p a week. So anyway, let's stop chatting shit and we'll talk to people in the chat.
Welbeck over DCL, Joshua Jumba. I am Welbeck over DCL. Yeah, I just don't think DCL
is good. Said that about many people in the past. You've proved me wrong. Now Chelsea have a defence crisis. I think minutes might be fine. I'm thinking going very differential. No Bruno, full 15 doubles to go top my mini league. I mean that's fine. I think Bruno's okay. But I've given myself the option of basically having Bruno this week, and then next week, if I want to transfer him out for a double game week, I will. If I don't, I won't. So that's one thing to think for. I think Bruno might be overhyped for the Chelsea game. Yeah, but I think he's also a great captaincy option this week against Leeds. So I would think about having him in game week 32 and then moving him out for game week 33 for a doubler if you want to. It gives yourself that option. It just gives you that option of potentially doing that. You get a bit of flexibility. It's whether you value that transfer more or not. So you have to make that choice, I guess. I've made the choice of I don't. I think that transfer. Sorry. I've been talking too long. Let me just have some water. Yeah, I would say I value the Bruno captaincy and the ability to be flexible next week over that one transfer. So I've gone with Bruno in 32, and then I might move him out in 33 because I'm captaining him this week. So FPL MFC, hey bro, hey mate, Nico Williams versus Matty Cash versus Munoz, bench boost 33 in mind. I mean, you're bench boosting in 33. I wouldn't have any of those players. Like I'd just be having any of the double game weekers. Scott is viable for the double. Yeah, definitely Scott is an option for the double. I think that's a reasonable shout. I'd say the other people that I think are viable outside of the team that I've got, Aronson at Leeds, Scott, James Justin, DCL, Mitoma/Minte, yeah, and Darlow. Yeah, I'm not sold by Mitoma Minte, but punty, but viable. Also, Pedro Neto. Unspoken. Pedro Neto. Definitely viable. Why have you got Sanchez? Rewind. Just rewind my stream. Did a big explanation. Game week 36. Sanchez for Bruggen. If the FA Cup final fixture moves forwards into 36 and there is a double game week, I would say 40% chance that happens. Probably more likely to 60% it stays in 37. But if that happens, you're going to have for Bruggen and Darlow, they're both going to double in 36, and then they're both going to blank in 37. You're going to have to use a goalkeeper transfer, so don't do it. Sanchez is just basically Darlow. I've got so much money, it doesn't matter. Our defence is horrible this week, isn't it? No, I like the defence, to be honest. I'm pretty happy. I was thinking about playing Hill over João Pedro. I'm sort of still thinking about playing Hill over João Pedro. Don't know what I think that Man City Chelsea score is going to be like. If no Bruno this week, then who to captain? Probably Semenyo or Haaland, to be honest. Oh, they will blank in 37. Not necessarily, man. Like, we just don't know whether that game gets moved into midweek in 37 or midweek in 36. So I'm just giving that flexibility because I'm on wildcard. I have the option to just do that now. Realistically, Verbruggen's going to be playing pretty much every week for me. Bournemouth have been the highest scoring defence over the last 4 game weeks other than Arsenal. So I think double Bournemouth's good. I think it's very good in double game week. And I think Defcon's underestimated in a double game week as well. If you got those Defcon defenders, like they can easily pick up, they concede 1, concede 2. They still pick up 6 or 8 points in that week, which is a clean sheet for a normal defender without Defcon. So I think it's worth it, man. Like, I think there's no, like, if you're bench boosting in 33 and you're wildcarding in 32, there's absolutely no point in bench boosting in 33 if you're not going to do 14 or 15 doublers. 13, you have to sell me. But I think 14 or 15 doublers. Otherwise, if you're wildcarding, like, just wildcard 11 double game week players and 4 of the best other players. Like, I would have Gabriel, I would have Bruno, I would have I don't know. Like, I don't know I haven't even looked at the fixtures because I haven't really thought about doing that. But sorry, I would probably have like someone from Villa. I might even have Gyökeres. Like, that's the sort of team I would be doing if I was wildcarding 32 and not having 15 doublers. I wouldn't even be considering like any of these. Like, what did you say? Who did you say? Nico Williams, Matty Cash, Munoz? No, they have to be like the top of the top players to be in the wildcard 32 if you're not bench feasting 15 players. Otherwise, irrelevant. Thanks, Nish. Much love, bro. Catch you later. Have a good week. Good luck this game week. Haaland to Bowen, Spirographer. For this week, yeah, you can do that and just bring Haaland in 33 if you got the transfer. Caicedo shout, yeah, Caicedo's shout, yeah, I just... yeah, for me, he's kind of similar to like an Ampadu, for example, for Leeds. And then it just gives you an extra Chelsea spot, which is why I didn't go Caicedo, but I mean, definitely a shout. I was sort of looking at like the higher ceiling sort of guys. So, like, that's what I was looking at, like Palmer and Neto. But that's also because I went with that Sanchez in goal thing. So I guess if you just backed the fixtures to be in 37 midweek, which is probably what's going to happen, you could just go Verbruggen, Darlow, and then you can put Caicedo in there with Palmer and João Pedro. So definitely something you can consider. It's just like where your thought process is on it. If you knew for certain that you keep Bruno in game week 33, would anything in your wildcard be different? No. I might have Tavernier over Ampadu. But I wasn't sold on Tav, to be honest. I was thinking... Basically, I chose Ampadu because I thought I'm definitely going to want him for 33. And I'm not sure who my Bournemouth midfielder is going to be yet, whether it's going to be Tav or Scott or, I don't know, someone else, like Ryan. So I sort of gave myself a little bit of leeway. But, I mean, if I'm only having to choose one of them, would I potentially just go Tav? I might do, yeah. I might do that. So that would be the only change that I would make. But otherwise it would be the same, yeah. You could also go Petrovic for Sanchez in goal if you wanted to do it that way. But again, I think you lose that double game week in 36 if that is a potential. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could go Petrovic in goal for Sanchez and Caicedo for Ampadu. That's an interesting way of looking at things. You get an extra Chelsea in there, or even a Neto. But I mean, I think that's too many 3 Chelsea like goal scorer attackers. Those are probably the thoughts I'd have there, Bjorn. Best 3 Brighton assets. I would say best 4 for Bruggen, Van Heck, Gomez, Welbeck. For sure are the best 4. Like, no one else better than them. And then it's just a choice of whether you want to go 2 defenders, 1 attacker, or 2 attackers, 1 defender, and how the rest of your team works within those structure. I mean, realistically, I'd like to have Van Heck as well over Bijol, but you obviously can't have 4 Brighton players. And I like Gomez. I think people are not going for him, which makes me want to go for him even more, because it's someone that's going to be different to other people on a wild card. And I personally just think Gomez is probably the best attacking pick out of him and Welbeck. From a minutes perspective, sorry, I paused massively there. It was a very poor time to pause. From a minutes perspective, I think like Welbeck obviously has the higher goal threat. How long we got, guys? We got 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I'm going to text my brother and make sure that he's done his bloody fantasy team while we're here, because he's a little whinger. And he was whinging at me for not having told him the team to pick. And in the meantime, probably in about 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to gift some memberships to the people that have been in on this stream. I'll give away 5 memberships to 5 people who it'll be or YouTube will give them away randomly to somebody that's been on this screen. Gomez is on 9 yellows, yeah, I know, but that basically if he doesn't pick up the yellow against Burnley, that's the drama with Gomez. But if he doesn't pick up that yellow against Burnley, then he's fine. If he does, he gets suspended for 2 games. He's out of game week 33, which sucks. And I'd have to bring in someone else for him. But if he doesn't, then that suspension yellow card's wipe after 32. So if he gets yellow in the first game of the game week 33, it's fine. Hey, I'm back. Any team news, Adam? All team news going across the top of the screen, mate, just on the left. Like I think I've updated everything other than Sunderland, which amusingly enough is on the screen. But yeah, basically what I'd say is probably important ones for the double, like Brighton's like no issues. Leeds, Rodon and Stack out till May. Likely out till May. Who else is doubling? Burnley similar. I don't think anyone came back. Bournemouth, like Krupi's available, Adams available, Soler, Jimenez, Clive and Cook is still out. Who else is doubling? Man City. Brighton Dunk obviously suspended. Burnley on screen now. Man City. Remind me, Adam. What was I saying about Man City? Diaz is out. Kovacic is available. Stone's out, and Guardiola's still out as well. I think those are the main team newses from what I can remember. And then Arsenal, who the effing hell knows what the hell Arteta's been saying. He just talks a load of shit, doesn't he? You can never tell if anybody is available or not. He said there's going to be changes, but you just... I don't know, man. He's too difficult to know what he's bloody talking about, to be honest. Captaining Haaland over Bruno, yeah. It's a Man City fan for you. So I'm wildcarding now, bench boost next, free hit after, and going strong with a mixed up team until the end. I have to win my mini league. So you're going to bench boost without 15 double game week. I just don't support that. It just doesn't make sense. Oh, is your team like really bad right now? I mean, can you get through game week 32? Just wildcard in 33. I don't think it makes sense. I just don't think it makes sense to bench boost in 33. Without... I would just not bench boost in 33. Just wildcard into a team with like 11 doublers. And 4 really strong players, a mixed up team. And just bench boost in like 35 or something. Because you'll actually have a good bench in 35. Like 33, you're just going to have like random people. Anyway. No, 2 messages above. Oh, sorry. I'm going without... sorry. I'm going without Bruno, very differential with Amplitude shout, maybe reconsider Darlow, and I'll be full of 15 doubles and save transfer. Ah, that's amazing, mate. Yeah, that sounds great. Sorry for ranting on you. Just like... Too much ranting today, man. I just have a very different view to, I think, a lot of things that people have said, but like I've actually been able to explain it to people, which I think has helped some people on this stream, hopefully. Sorry, bro. Just in my own head, just living my own life, eh? DCL Welbeck. I've gone Welbeck, man. Like that's all I can say. But I think I can understand if you go either direction. To be honest, it does help the sort of like you feel like Van Heck at the back over Stroke is nicer, but you feel like Welbeck up front over DCL is nicer. So it's like really you just want both Brightons. So I can understand if you go the other way. The other way is probably you're like favouring the minute, like expected minutes of DCL, 180 over Welbeck probably gets like 120 over the 2 games, if that. But yeah, I mean, where's the upside? You know, like I think the upside's probably on Welbs. But I'm not sure. I think those could be quite close. Would you go for Bowen over DCL this week? I think if you got the free transfers in hand that you're capable of rolling a few still through to game week 36, then I don't mind Bowen over DCL. I think it's a good differential to have this week over a lot of the double game, over a lot of the wildcarders. I have some consideration of just going him over JP this week and then switching next week. Yeah, I want that extra transfer. So I'm just hoping for the best. Someone's saying it's Mitoma o'clock. Captain on Gross, shoot me. Get a gun. Pascal Gross, he's still haunting me. Yeah, shoot me. You won't set me off on that one. That's all right. I know that is a fishing hook ready to bait me. All right, guys, we're gonna give away 5 memberships to people on stream that have been in the chat. It's going to be random. YouTube does it. So thank you very much for supporting the channel. And the lucky winners are... Ian McCormack, 9002. Camilo, hey bro. Beezy, 8551. FPL Calvin. And Abhishek Patra, 1491. Thank you very much, guys, for supporting the channel. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, given you are now elite members of the channel, we've gifted those elite memberships, please DM me on Insta or Twitter or wherever with your WhatsApp number. I will add you to the chat, and I will also give you access to my FPL API data, where I obviously have all the player data, all of the fixture schedules, all of the data, etc. You just need to give me a Gmail address to add you to my group for Gmail. I am going to be working with my brother probably next year on trying to make this into a website and having everything live for you guys that are members. So I might even make it free. I think next year we'll do it for members just while we're setting it up and trying to get it going, just so we can just make the server costs really meet, because most things nowadays is I've been doing on this channel for free. I've been spending my own time rather than my own money. You have Ampadu and a Bournemouth spot not taken. Tavernier for EG. Yeah. So I'm thinking next week Bruno could be Tav, but I just wasn't sure on the Bournemouth spot. I was pretty certain on Ampadu's going to play 90-90, and he DEFCON's very good. So I wasn't sure whether I wanted to go Scott or Tav, and I just gave myself an extra week to think about it. And I might just keep Bruno. So I'm okay with it. I don't think I need the extra Bournemouth player. I've got Hill and Senesi, who are the 2 that I wanted. And then maybe I bring in Tav next week for Bruno. I'm thinking of doing Pedro to Bowen and bring back Pedro next week. Yeah, I like it. I think a lot of people have done that. I think that's a really interesting differential for this week. If you got the free transfer, I think it's okay to do. Yeah, I really do think it's okay to do. Just got to think, like, maybe have a look quickly at plan.fpl at your team and how it looks going forwards with those free transfers. If I want to go different and want to finish in top 100k, yeah, where are you at the moment, Abdullah? Yeah, I mean, think the strategy enough is going to be different to what a lot of people go for. But you've also got to think like you want to be gaining in those back end weeks as well, and want to have the transfers to be able to do that. So yeah, I think it's a 50-50 call. You got to go with your gut on something like that. It's differential. Let's put it that way. It's differential. It's going to be different to what other teams wildcarding are doing, which will be in the top 100k, and obviously you're already doing something different to people who are free hitting in 33. So I guess if your goal is to be different and to try and gain rank on as many people as possible, then maybe that is the one to go for. But note at the back end in 36, that's when those guys are going to be trying to gain points on you by going for like an extra Crystal Palace player because they've got an extra transfer and can go for another double game weeker. But yeah, if you think that's worth it for this week for Jared Bowen, which it could be because he does often get some nice hauls, take a punt. I guess you got to take consideration in here on like the status of the league and like what these teams are going to be playing for. I guess Wolves pretty much now 7 games to go. They've got to be playing for a win in every game. West Ham, this is a sort of game they would target a win. So you'd expect it to be a relatively open game, both teams going for goals. Maybe suits Jared Bowen a little bit. I think that's really something that people need to start taking into consideration with picks as we go forwards. So yeah, definitely bear where teams are in the league and what games they're going to be targeting, making sure like must-win games, especially like the Wolves, Burnley, West Ham, Spurs, Forest, Leeds. They're going to have a lot of games against the bottom half of the table where it's going to have to be a little bit more open and they're going to have to be going for the win, whereas there are some shut up shop a little bit. Yeah, I agree, Abdullah. I think that does sound like an open game with both teams battling to stay up. So, I mean, the more we talk about it, it probably sells you on the Bowen. It's not going to be me because I want that transfer for later and I think maybe I can put it to better use, but definitely could be wrong. Definitely Bowen could be a fantastic shout this week. You're intriguing me, actually. I'm going to look at FPL plan. Because if I decide not to move Bruno, I'm interested to see what my team transfers wise. Let's say I went Bowen. Bowen for... So I went Bowen for JP. And then JP comes back in next week. How are we looking? I mean, we're still pretty similar to what I was looking at before. Gomez over Mitoma. Gomez. Better minutes wise, mate. Better minutes wise. I'll probably keep Bruno in 33 since I bought him for 9.1 million. Would be a waste of money if I bring him back. Yeah, but I don't think money's that important. Don't think he's that important. But yeah, I mean, I think keeping Bruno in 33 is very fine. Guys, there's 6 minutes left till deadline. Please make your decisions now. I desperately need the toilet, but I'm holding it for the next 6 minutes. So, yeah, that water went down smoothly. I don't know how I feel. Feel good, Rob. We're good. Relax. Mitoma's just, just not convinced he's going to play back to back. Oh, I don't know. If I'm honest, I don't know. I don't know with him. I just don't know how the minutes are going to come out. Gomez, I feel a bit more sure on the minutes. You're welcome to go Mitoma and go a little bit differential. And if you get it right, you can tell me all about it. I don't mind if you guys copy my team, to be perfectly honest. Like I put the team in because I think it's the best team. So, why have I got 2 Bruno Fernandezes? 35. Yeah, I'm thinking about Jared Bowen, man. I'm thinking about him. I'm thinking about Jared Bowen. I don't mind a 1 week punt on Jared. He's playing on the right wing though, isn't he? Do you know what? I saw a really interesting tweet a while back about where teams concede from. I wonder if I bookmarked it. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. I should have done. It was actually interesting. It would convince me if Wolves conceded from left back. That would actually convince me. But it's not the case. So, sack that. Oh, I really desperately need a toilet. Guys, 3 minutes to deadline. 3 minutes to deadline. Adam, thoughts on a Bruno triple captain? No. Triple captain, double game week. Triple captain, double game week player. Please. It just looks better with Welbeck, honestly. Yeah, well, this is me, boys. This is me. I've got Welbeck. I've got JP. I'm not changing now. This is going to be my side. Should I go for Justin or B. Joel? I've gone for B. Joel. Adam Aronson is good statistically right. Aronson's good. Aronson's a fine pick. It's just minutes. He's obviously going to play 70, 75, maybe 80. I'm just thinking Ampadu picks up the DEFCON 4 and 4, maybe he gets 8 points. But yeah, obviously Aronson 1 goal and you're beating that. So you're the bloody Leeds expert. You need to tell me. Mate. That is totally you pick. You should actually know better. If you say it's Aronson, I should be going Aronson over Ampadu. All right, guys. 1 minute to deadline. Lock your teams now. Rob, lock your team now. Lock it in, Larry. 1 minute till the deadline. Please make sure the captaincies are correct. The vice captaincies are correct. Your teams are locked. $30 seconds, maybe. Even less to deadline. And we are locked. That is the deadline, everybody. Good luck this game week. Let's hope we've made the right decisions. We've got the right picks in there. And we get those green arrows. Thank you for tuning in with me. What have I got coming up? Game week 33. Yeah, so 33, 32, 33. Yeah, I guess my wildcard team for 33 might be a bit different. I might think about doing like a free hit team for 34, but I guess there's not too much to think about for next week if you've wildcard already. It's pretty much roll team, who's your captain, and click the bench boost button. So yeah, good luck everybody. We'll have a chat in the week. If there's anything you want me to chat about, leave a comment on my YouTube, or ideally leave a comment on my YouTube. It helps the algorithm. But yeah, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. This has been your English Aussie. Have a fantastic game week, all of you guys, and I will catch you soon.